the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. Y'all already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
You already know what time it is, man. It's the 50-50 Show. Yours truly, PharoahNFL, obviously the Severe Raider. And we got a special guest in the building, man. We got Raider Rundown. We got to give him a salute real quick. What's good, man, brother? If y'all haven't already,
man, what's the deal?
Yes, sir, man. Make sure to go ahead and head over to Raider Rundown if you haven't already and subscribe to my guy, man. We have a lot to talk about. It's so much to talk about, man, with the Raiders and all these moves. And, yeah, we going to get into it, man. The Ben Johnson, we all know. We going to talk about it. But before we even get into that whole conversation about the latest and greatest with the Raiders, let's get into the night crew. The night crew's pulled up already, man. We got Sacktown Raider in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Sacktown Huey P in the building. We see you in there, man. Appreciate you coming through. We got everybody pulling up. Austin, I know you seen the thumbnail. Y'all did Pete wrong in the thumbnail, man. Hey, man, we had to keep it real, man. We had to keep it real, man. The dude, he's up there. He's up to the age. But, hey, man, Raider Rundown, he got something to say about it. So we gonna have that conversation. I think Rundown, did he freeze? Rundown, you still in the building? Hold up. I think he froze. We gonna get back. We gonna get him back. I think we lost him. We lost Rundown. It's all good. Hold on 1 second. All right. We'll get him in a second. He'll be back. But yeah, man. Hey, look, man. We see everybody pulling up. Make sure to hit the make sure to clock in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Jeffrey Gaines in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Silver Smoke says no cap, no to Sanders. And yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like Dion, I can't do it. Can't do it. I just don't feel like his intentions will be all the way there to be a Raiders head coach for the long term. Everything will be about his sons, which I'm not mad at him, but hey, I'm a Raider fan first, so I'm gonna be honest with you.
Exactly.
I just can't see it working, in my opinion. You said bring in Pete Carroll for head coach. We'll get into that. Solid for DC. I like solid for DC for sure. Find a legit OC. Yeah. We'll get into it, man. Yeah, in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. We got Raider Resistance in the building. Rundown, you there backstage? I don't know if you could hear us.
Nah, we good.
We good? All right. I think you, for some reason, you look close. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you back. What's up? Let me see. Get Rundown back real quick. Oh, for some reason, you disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Can you leave and come back?
Hold up.
Yeah. For some reason.
Real quick.
All right. All good. We got Raider Resistance in the building, y'all. Y'all already know, man. One of the best Raider IGs out there, man. Make sure to follow my guy on Instagram, doing his thing. Hold on. Let's see. Let's get Rundown in the building real quick. Let's see. He's having some technical issues, but we'll get to him in just a second. Man, Billy Davis in the building. We see you, man. Hey, everybody, make sure to clock in. If you haven't already, man, make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we have a lot to talk about, man. This is prime time Raiders off season.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. I don't know what happened. Let's see. I think he's having some technical issues. But we'll get to him in just a second, man. Assassin Creed in the building. We see you. Mark in the building. Hey, Mark, man, you supposed to be the first one to like the video. You always be saying you the first one. You didn't make the cut today, man. That's all good, man. Appreciate you coming through. Let's see here, man. Solomon in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. Ultimate Raider Fan 32, man. Turf in the building, man. If y'all haven't already, make sure to go ahead and head over there and subscribe to my guy, man. We're going to have him on here soon as well.
Definitely.
We got East Coast Gridiron. We got to get him on here too as well. We got to break down all these college prospects, man. The college season is pretty much done. It's pretty much over. So yeah, man, we need your help. We need your help, man. So hopefully we can get you on soon. Richard Lyon, hit them likes, man. Yeah, man. Clock in, as we like to say, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Look, y'all seen the thumbnail. So y'all kind of see where we stand. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself because I didn't get a chance to speak to Severe, but just I know we on the same page when it comes to this, man. We on the same page. 1 second, let me see. Rundown, you in the building? I don't know what's going on, Rundown. Having some technical issues. It's all good. But I mean, Severe, I guess you could start it off. What were your initial thoughts on the Raiders pretty much losing out on Ben Johnson, obviously going to the Bears? We all went for it. I did. I will say this, not to toot my own horn, but I got to do it, man. I did say, but it's not official yet. It's not official. I felt like from the early candidates that the Raiders met, I kind of felt like it was going to be Pete Carroll. It hasn't been named. It's not official yet. Don't take Pete Carroll has not been announced as Raiders head coach. But I almost fell for the Ben Johnson because with all these reports and then Adam Schefter, you know what? He's undefeated. He had to knock. Yeah. He tried to knock some sense into us, and then we were like, this dude's a hater. But what was your initial thoughts when you heard Ben Johnson going to Chicago Bears instead of the Raiders?
I wasn't really surprised. I mean, We had talked about this initially, and we had basically outlined all the reasons why he wouldn't take this job. The division, the quarterback situation, how we've treated head coaches in the past, how we treated a guy that gave him, one of his first opportunities in the NFL, in Joe Philbin, who was on the Antonio Pierce staff, who was, unceremoniously fired in one of the most embarrassing, dysfunctional ways you can fire somebody. Like, we outlined all of that beforehand. We talked about all the reasons why he wouldn't come, why these other jobs were better, and then we start hearing the news, right, from these reporters saying, hey, he's on the way to the Raiders are the favorite. They're going to land Ben Johnson, and then we start to get that hope. But in the back of my mind, and I'm pretty sure in the back of all the Raider Nation's mind, we kind of had that feeling that it wasn't finna go our way. So when that news came, and it was he's not coming to the Raiders to be our head coach, it was like we kind of figured,
Right.
that was going to happen, for a multitude of reasons. So, like I said, I wasn't surprised. I can't be upset at the decision. You gotta look, smart money. Go to a place where you have a quarterback and you already have several established weapons on offense. So I can't get mad at that.
I agree, man. I agree 100%, man. It wasn't surprising that he went to the Bears. It's just the fact that we fell for all that talk that happened, before a big, huge signing like this. Like, we fell for it's pretty much official. They just got to sign the paperwork and all this talk. I mean, man, let's speak to Raider Rundown. He's in the building, man. You got to hear from him, man. Like, what was your first thoughts when you heard Ben Johnson went to the Bears? I mean, were you surprised? I wasn't surprised. But go ahead.
I'd say like 60-40, like 60, not even 60-40, 70-30. 70 not surprised, 30 I was like, okay, kind of crazy, because just looking around, from what I gathered and shit, I think they kind of had him a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, what Severe is saying is 100% true, though. I mean, what's the honest to God truth is, he got squirrely at the last second, because somebody got in his ear and made him understand that this situation right here ain't no situation you want to stake your career in. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, it's not. Like, if he would have came here, hey, so be it. I respect him for it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's a good, whatever move, how you feel, you confident in yourself, I like that. But let's be honest with ourselves as Raider fans. This ain't no good situation for no offensive dude to come in here. It's just not no good situation. Now, a little surprised in thinking that I thought, Tom Brady, for lack of better words, like, hooked his fangs in, sunk his teeth into something, I thought it was a wrap. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like, the way that he was pursuing him. So I'm anxious to see kind of what Brady's little backup plan is, because this is first. Remember, I think y'all said it. I said it. A lot of people said it. This is Brady's first year being an owner. So now he done got a taste of the L. He done got a taste of failure, because now you done sat there, you swung and missed. So now I'm trying to see what he's going to do afterwards, as far as now, how do you pivot from this?
Right. That's a good point, man, because I'm not mad at the Raiders. It's really the media who we kind of like are, I want to say mad at, but like, man, like, it felt like every insider was saying that the Raiders were going to get Ben Johnson. Every insider you could think of was saying, outside of, obviously Adam Schefter, but everybody was saying all signs point to Ben Johnson going to the Raiders. So I think that's what Raider Nation is kind of frustrated with, was because all that talk was basically kind of, it kind of hyped it up a little bit, and then we all were disappointed when he went to the Bears. But from a football standpoint, great fit compared to what the options are out there. You know what I mean? He has his quarterback. He has the weapons. He's familiar with that division. He's in the NFC. Obviously, he's going to play against his former team twice a year. He doesn't care about that. But, I think it's a great fit. But I think the Raiders made the right choice by targeting the best coach available. You know what I mean?
You gotta shoot the shot, bro. You gotta shoot the shot. I mean, what everybody say, shoot or shoot. So you gotta do that. I mean, that's number one. But
right.
I mean, just looking at it, bro. And I understand people get frustrated, like with Vinny and like Vic and things like that. But for me, bro, like I don't get frustrated with that because I understand like this is all still human emotion. You feel what I'm saying? Like we all still humans at the end of the day. We have no idea what these people is thinking. Like we have no idea what happened in the background with Ben Johnson. He could have actually wanted to come here. But let's just say for better lack of words or whatever the case, the wifey was in his ear, and the wifey was like, "Hey, I'm not trying to go to no Vegas." If your wifey's in your ear telling you she ain't going nowhere, you gonna listen to that. Right. And you got kids. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Like so, it's like you got things you got to do, bro. Like this is all human emotion at the end. There's just nothing like you. Right. You and I will probably do the same thing and think about it the same way. So it's like we can't get too mad when these things go down like that, though.
Right. Right, and the Raiders gave him they gave him their best shot. They got rid of the GM. They offered him. Really? It sounded like reportedly it would have been like probably the highest. He probably would have been the highest paid coach in the NFL. I mean, I'm sure they would have gave him his GM of his choice because as soon as it wasn't by accident. As soon as the Lions playoffs is over, the Raiders were interviewing a guy that reportedly is really good friends with Ben Johnson. I think Lance Newman from I think he's
or something like that.
Newmark.
Yeah, that's Newmark, yeah.
Yeah, so that's not by accident. And we all thought like, oh, okay, man, everything's lining up. It's pretty much about to be official. Monday comes around and boom, we find out that obviously he goes to the Bears. And if y'all seen the video, I don't have the video on hand. I wish I had it. I had the clip, but when he enters the Bears building and he's over talking to everybody, he's all like, "This is where I wanted to be."
I saw that.
And I was
of course he's gonna say that.
Yeah, of course he's gonna say that. He's not gonna say anything otherwise. But then it has me thinking, was he using the Raiders this whole time for a leverage play?
Good. Yeah, I don't think he was using the Raiders for a leverage play because he already had a leverage play in the Lions. It's like he didn't have to take a job. He could easily go back to Detroit and just continued on what he was doing there. He would have still been the hottest commodity again next year. So he didn't need to use the Raiders. If anything, and I tweeted this out. This was a situation where the Raiders weren't on the radar at all. Tom Brady personally reached out of respect for Tom Brady and who Tom Brady is. He took the phone call, did the interview, and I'm sure there was an exchange of information, right? He's a guy going into a situation with the rookie quarterback that somewhat struggled. You have the greatest quarterback of all time, who played, who set out his first year, but his second year came in and started winning immediately. So you want some nuggets from that. Hey, what are some things that help you transition? Yada, yada, yada. Like there was an exchange of information there. And I'm sure that was valuable to him. And that's why he was willing to spend 3 hours of his time talking to Tom Brady. But at no point, and I think it's pretty clear now, because if it was a situation where if he was really torn between these two destinations, like, dang, I want the Bears job. This is kind of where I have my heart's at. But dang, that Raiders job, though, they had a good pitch. To know what you do, you go in for an in-person interview with both places. Let me hear your final pitches, then I'll make my decision. The fact that he never even sat down with the Raiders in person and didn't need to sit down with the Bears lets me know he all along knew where he was going.
Exactly.
Whatever interest the Raiders garnered was strictly out of respect for Tom Brady, and that's it.
Yeah, but you had look, all these you just look at the media, right? Some of these guys are like respected insiders, right? Yeah. The noise was pretty loud, so which tells me who was feeding him this information to make him believe, to put their whole pretty much their their reputation on the line to say that Ben Johnson is pretty much going to Ian Rappaport. He's pretty much all signs point to him going to the Raiders. It's because the agents are probably telling these guys like, yeah, it's pretty much official. We just need to clean some things up. But it sounds like the Raiders are a really good option. I'm sure that they're telling them this, and from their experience, they're probably like, you know what? It sounds like the Raiders really have a shot, a great chance of getting them. And obviously the media ran with it. They ran with all the information that they got. But the agents are trying to put it out there for the Bears to, hey, you guys, make sure when you guys come correct. meaning that contract. And he I think he got one of the highest paid. He's not the highest paid coach, but he's one of the highest paid coaches. I think it's like what, $13 million a year reportedly is what he got. Yeah, exactly. So I think
he's
go
gonna get that
ahead.
regardless though.
I do think it's somewhat like a tale of a lot of truth. I think a lot of it is mixed in, right? Where it's like what Severe is saying, I think initially that's 100% what it was. Like, because I was saying even before he even said he was going to take the interview, he's not going to want to come here. I said it multiple times on my own thing. He's not going to want to come here. This ain't a good situation. And when I saw that he did want to come here, I'm going to be honest, I was more surprised that he took the interview than I was surprised that he took the Bears job. Like that's the difference of it, bro. I was more surprised that he actually came and talked to us. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I think so out of respect for Tom, he came and talked. I think Tom and Mark put on their best showman hat and rolled out the reddish carpets and was like, hey, dog, this is what it's going to be. And I think actually what they might have told him might have been intriguing. And I think it would have been more intriguing if you would have had a top 3 pick, but that's a conversation for another day. But at this point right now, I think, again, he probably got in his own head. A lot of motherfuckers were saying the same thing in the media. Probably his own team was saying the same thing as well. Like, look, bro, it's probably not going to come. I don't think it came down to money because I think as far as us and the Bears, I think both of us is going to open them wallets and going to open that pocketbook. I mean, I think this is what it's going to have to be. And I know that, the Bears got Caleb Williams, but still that organization and that franchise been a fucking mess too. I done seen it front hand to center. My uncle and half my family Bears fans. I done seen it all. These motherfuckers is not as clean as they be trying to say, but at the same time, still they have a quarterback, whatever, but they would have to open the pocketbook as well. So I think honestly, it came down to what do you want to do for your career? You know what I mean? I think that's what it came down to. Maybe the pressure of you finna go to the AFC West got to him, or your division already, like Severe was saying. So it's like you can go over there. You already know strengths, weaknesses, things like that. You can hit the ground running with quarterback that you already got. So, I mean, I just think it was something where somebody finally got in his head and was like, "Hey, bro, make smart decisions. Do something else."
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I'm sure losing in the playoffs against a team with a young up and coming superstar, it looks like, with Jane Daniels, probably had him thinking about like, I like Jared Goff, but he ain't Jane Daniels. He's not Jane Daniels. You know what I mean? And if I go, if I'm gonna make this head coach in stop count with it, they better have a quarterback. And this goes back to, look, even guys like Ben Johnson, as much as everybody wants Ben Johnson comes to the Raiders, he's not stupid. He knows that if he goes to a team without a quarterback, that means that he's going to have to figure that out. And if he can't figure that out, he's going to be held accountable for everything that's going to go down with that team. And that's why, not to bring back, old wounds, but AP getting fired. And I'm like, man, the guy didn't have a quarterback. And y'all hold that against, y'all are like trying to nitpick all his weaknesses. But when you lose, it's so easy to criticize. Just like when you win, it's so easy to. They gonna come after us, bro.
Don't say it too loud, bro. They gonna come after us like that. They don't like it. I know people don't like it.
That's a whole different conversation for another day. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, right, there were all the reports, all the chatters. A lot of it was, hey, local reporters, local stuff, saying he's going to the outside of Rappaport, he's a fairly big guy. He was saying some of the chatter, but then you look at the two people that said, "Hey, this ain't happening." One was Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter is most of the time He's on his he's on point
most
most of the time.
Yep.
And then Josina Anderson. When I saw Josina Anderson say it, I was like, damn, dog. We in some trouble. Because Josina, she calls balls and strikes. She's not biased. She's on point most of the time. So when I saw her saying it, like, look, this is what's going down, I kind of knew it. So what that made me think is that, the Ben Johnson camp was quiet. It was the Raiders that was saying, yo, we had a great interview with Ben Johnson. It's momentum building. We had a great contract on the table for him. We feel we got him. Momentum is building. There's a good back and forth, yada yada. Ben Johnson people was like, look, we ain't got nothing to say. Whatever they want to say over there, we're gonna let that narrative percolate because that only helps us. We ain't gonna feed you no information, but if that's what y'all want to put out there, we gonna keep it quiet. Y'all can go ahead and make all that noise on y'all side all y'all want to. And and that was a smart play. Because as soon as the season was over, what happened? That very day, he informed the Lions, yo, I have no intention of coming back. The very next day, he's with the Bears. So it's like it wasn't no hard decision, nothing he like wrestled with. He immediately made the decision. So it lets me know, like, look, it was already basically predetermined.
Yeah, it's tough situation, but yeah, no, for sure. I think, and it makes sense too. Like we said earlier, like it makes sense that he went with a team with a quarterback. Look, you're only going to go so far as with your quarterback in today's NFL. That being said, the Raiders got to move on. They got to pivot. I think we can all agree that the Raiders didn't do anything wrong as far as trying to go after Ben. It was just the media surrounding it, kind of hyping it up, making it seem like the Raiders had a shot, and they really didn't. And I think that's what like Raider Nation, I think, is kind of complaining about. But it is what it is. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and also, hey man, we got a special guest. We got Raider Rundown in the building, man. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to head over to his channel and subscribe to my guy, man. He's doing big things over there. Yeah, man. So Raiders got to pivot. They got to pivot. And I'm hoping, and let me ask you guys, let me ask you this. Tom Telesco, he was fired. Mm-hmm. Now I understand Brady wanted Ben Johnson. It's kind of obvious at this point, but do you think Brady fired Telesco to get Ben Johnson, or was it more of a chess move, like he wanted to get his own guy in the building?
I think it's more of the latter, bro. I think it's the second one. I'm going to be honest with you. All right. Now, can y'all imagine if we wouldn't have got Ben Johnson and we still got Tom Telesco right now? And this man was part of the head coaching search? Oh, dear God, bro. I'd be so unconfident in what we're doing right now, bro. It wouldn't even be funny, even if Brady was on the squad, because I know what I've seen from Tom Telesco with his head coaching searches, what he's liked from a head coach, and I ain't like what I saw. So for me, and people keep talking about, I know we're going to talk about head coaching later, but I want a young and up-and-coming GM. Let's get one of them hot-shot GMs, bro. Why we keep talking about the hot-shot coach and we don't talk about the hot-shot GM? We always want to keep the old dude.
Sure.
Like, let's get the GM that's going to go in and say sometimes, maybe I'm a wheel and deal. And maybe that don't mean in the draft. Maybe I go and get a free agent. Maybe I trade for something. But let's get a GM that's also young and aggressive as well. I like that.
Nah, and I hear you. But, Severe, I'm going to pass this to you. You made a great point before where you talked about it. NFL is all about relationships. And Tom Brady, he's going to want someone that basically will do his bidding. You know what I mean? Like, if we're keeping it real, like I'm sure that GM is going to make the decision, but he doesn't want to have a GM in there that's going to, clash with him so much where, it's going to create problems. He wants a guy that he's going to be able to be on the same page with and get some stuff done. And I think that, guys like that have been rumored, like Spytech is a guy that, was interviewed. That's a guy that easily could be a Raiders GM. I mean, Severe, I'm gonna throw the same question at you. Do you think was it Tom Brady trying to get his guy in the building, or he was going all in on Ben Johnson?
think it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, if you look at what the Raiders have in terms of roster-wise, that didn't make us the most attractive. You look at our track record in terms of how we've treated head coaches. That was a big, and I've said this. I said this after we fired McDaniels, and I said this before we fired Antonio Pierce. If you make these moves, this does not reflect well upon you as an organization. So we had that going against us, you know.
100%.
So what was our ace in the hole? The only thing we can really say, you know, 100% for sure that we have over every other team that was still looking at that time, and it's like, look, you come in here, you get to have a hand in selecting whoever your general manager is. That was the only thing, because we don't got a quarterback. We don't have a track record of treating head coaches well. So the only thing we had was, you come in here, you get to pick your guy, and we're going to give you a whole bunch of money. Those are two things. We're going to give you a whole bunch of money in the state with no state income tax, and you get to choose your own GM. So I think it was a situation where, hey, you know what? He wanted Tom Telesco out of there because that wasn't somebody he was involved with, but he also wanted, you know, to have his head coach have a hand in selecting the GM, and ideally it'll be somebody that Tom Brady has a relationship with as well.
Real quick, man, we got a super chat. My guy, man, appreciate supporting the show. Man, James Lillard, man, he says, fellas, who you picking between Monken? I'm guessing he's saying Monken, offense coordinator from the Ravens, and Cohen, OC with from Tampa Bay. Rundown, who you going with?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Going over Monken's history, I probably go with Monken, bro. I done seen him do it with Stetson Bennett, Baker Mayfield, and all that in between. So yeah, I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, I do like Monken too, and he has he's coached Brock Bowers, and he knows how to use him.
You already know.
That's our number one weapon on offense. So that's a big plus. Severe, who you got?
I like Monken, man. I like Monken, but I like Cohen as well, and I think a pairing with Cohen and Spytek, you know, two guys from the Bucs organization. You know, Spytek has a relationship with Tom Brady as well. I think that will create some good chemistry, some good synergy there. So, but yeah, I mean, I think either one of those guys are they're both not 70. Let's say that. The number one thing they have going.
I'll tell you this though. What if Cohen? Okay, this is the thing. What if Cohen goes? Because I think he's gonna go to the Jags. I ain't gonna lie. I do. I honestly think he's gonna go to the Jags. And we ain't even requested that interview, which is kind of head scratching in my opinion. Yeah. So it's like, why y'all think we ain't requested that interview yet? I mean, we got two of the homies in the building already. I mean, we at least got one of them. Spytek been in there already.
But you know how it works too. Like sometimes teams won't request interviews because they don't want to be denied. They don't want the news that they were denied, because maybe Cohen he's probably, you know, the agent probably passed it along, was like, hey, look, save y'all the trouble. You know, don't put in that request because we're going to deny it. And even a Ben Johnson even said during the season, I'm not going to I don't want to waste anybody's time. I'm not going to do interviews with teams. So that's why everybody was so excited that he interviewed with the Raiders, is because, he's really considering us, because he said that he was not going to waste anybody's time. So I think with Cohen, we don't have a quarterback. And that's a question this is a great question. I think we didn't really touch on was, can we actually, is it possible, are we going to be hiring an offensive coach? Do you think an offensive coach wants to come to the Raiders, I mean, without a quarterback? And if so, who would that be? Who's more likely to be?
For me, I say no. I say no, because if what we're looking at right now and what we're left with are a bunch of coordinators that are now having to prove themselves, right? And this is their first job. This is going to be their first job. A lot of them, like, for example, Liam Cohen, even Todd Monken. People talk about Joe Brady with the Bills. They are not going to want to stake their claims to this job. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and they just came from the quarterbacks they just came from. Well, I'm coming from Josh Allen. I'm coming from Lamar Jackson. And it's the tier below, but I'm coming from Baker Mayfield to coach. Ain't no Connell. Stop. No, I'm not gonna do that, bro. I am not gonna do that. And then a year later, for y'all to tell me my scheme is ass, and then I gotta get fired and all that, like, nah.
Right.
So I would think, as an offensive dude, like, I'm not doing that.
I think probably the big names are gonna have a little bit of leverage and confidence to be like, nah, I'm not. I'd rather just wait. You know, just like how Ben Johnson got a whole lot of confidence for passing like what? How many head coaching cycles? Like 3-4 years straight, which is crazy. But you know, he's the head coach for the Bears now.
You just reminded me of something too, bro. And I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah, go ahead.
That, I mean, he did pass up on Jay Daniels. I ain't gonna lie, he did. So
that's what I'm
I don't know how much.
No one talks about.
I don't know how much he can evaluate the QB position. I mean, shit, you passed up on Jay Daniels and multiple other dudes. And hey, you say what you want, bro, but I feel like we would trade it up if it being when we got here.
Yeah,
we would be like, bro, who you want? We'll trade up for you.
Man, I seen that last week where they were talking about how that, because we were trying to figure that out. I think, Severe, we had this conversation where we're trying to figure out, was this a situation where, you know, the Commanders, you know, was putting out stuff to make Ben Johnson look bad and make themselves look bad because, you know, Ben Johnson wasn't coming to the Commanders. He chose to return to coach for the Lions? Or was it a situation where, you know, maybe a guy like Ben Johnson, he wants a veteran. He wants his guy. And it's going to be interesting how he makes it work with Caleb Williams, because someone put out a stat where, you know, Caleb Williams, he wasn't one of the best quarterbacks when he had to turn his back to the line of scrimmage in play action. And that's something that Ben Johnson in his offense, that's his bread and butter, is play action. So that's going to be something.
Work, bro. I'm very intrigued that that's going to work.
Exactly. So that's going to be interesting to see. But real quick, man, we got Myra G in the building. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, man, what's going on, man?
She says nobody wants to come to this Raider shit show, even for a fat payday, period. Yeah, man. It's tough when you got a situation like the Raiders where, look, this is a rebuild. We're being honest.
Yeah.
This is a rebuild, and we don't have a quarterback. The Raiders are going to have to either be they either could play it real safe, and we'll get into what real safe looks like, or they can be real aggressive and find a diamond in the rough with one of these young coaches. Maybe convince a Liam Cohen or a Munkin, who's obviously up there in age. He's not a young coach, but you know he obviously earned his stripe as an offensive coach. And then there's some other guys too as well out there, but you know that's on Tom Brady to figure out. That's on the Raiders to figure it out. So we'll see how that goes. We got another super chat. Appreciate the support, Myra. We got LS the Damaha. I don't know how to say. I'm over
the major.
This name.
LS the major.
We tried.
Damn, man.
He said Damaha, bro. You went Espanol. He thought he was Spanish.
Yeah, my boy been hopping on the Duolingo, baby. Yes,
Oh man. Thoughts on Will Howard? Chip an option at OC? If so, whew, man, I'm gonna pass this.
I threw my hands up last night. I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie. I said I threw my hands up on it. I was a little impressed. Now I'm not gonna sit here and talk about he a first round pick. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that blasphemy, but
right,
you know, third round or something, I go ahead and do something like that. If I took him in the third round, I wouldn't be mad. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad.
Okay. Severe, what you think? What do you think of Chip at OC?
Oh, Chip? No.
I wouldn't hate Chip at OC, bro. Chip, look, say what you want about Chip as a head coach. I've seen him as a head coach in the NFL. I was a UCLA fan, so I saw him at Oregon. I'm a UCLA fan, so I saw him as head coach of my team. He's not a person that I would want as my head coach. But all Chip does is watch and think football and draw up plays. And this dude is a mad scientist on offense. And people always think about him in the as a passer. No, bro. Where Chip does his damage is in the run game. And the right scheme can make your running backs look tremendous. right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw Josh Jacobs last year in the wrong scheme. He gets to Green Bay with Matt LaFleur and the better scheme.
Yeah.
One of the best backs in the league. We saw Saquon Barkley last year in the scheme that wasn't taking advantage of what his skill set was. We see him this year in a different scheme. What does he do? Potential MVP candidate, right? So Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator, that dude will be a beast. But if you have Chip Kelly as your offensive coordinator, you need a strong personality at head coach, because Chip Kelly, he will rub some people the wrong way. He's a no nonsense kind of dude. He's not for the frills. That's why he didn't succeed as a college head coach. He doesn't like the recruiting stuff. He doesn't like the meet and greets, all that nonsense. He doesn't like the media. He doesn't like none of that stuff. That's why he stepped down from head coach to be an offensive coordinator, because that's all he wants to do is just do that. So he'll be good at that. But in terms of Will Howard, Will Howard is just 2024 Will Levis, but worse. I don't want that dude.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you though. You saying all that about Chip Kelly, so was AP justified and right to interview him last year for the OC? Because he did interview him last year, or he was in line to interview. I said in line.
I said last year. Yeah.
Well, there's another notch in the belt then, because then that's like 2 or 3 dudes that if AP would have signed or they would have got would have been better than Luke Getsy.
So word on the street was the reason why Chip didn't get the job was because he wanted to bring his own coaches to the staff, like his own, and I guess he didn't get.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
And I guess that was like the deal breaker. And but Lou Getsy was the other option. Like that was what I think the Raiders probably should have reconsidered at least. You know what I mean? Because
and that was the selling point, or that was the chopping block point.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But man, it could have been a whole because look, Lou Getsy getting hired, doesn't it seem like one of those like we need to hire somebody?
Yeah,
because
you're like the 6th, 7th dude.
Exactly. And it was like Cliff Kingsbury was supposed to be the guy. And once that fell through, at this point, the Raiders needed to sign some assistant coaches. And it's not like AP has the biggest, he doesn't have like everybody on it in his phone book, you know what I mean? Like on speed dial where he can call assistant coaches. The assistant coaches are getting hired left and right. Hey, Severe, you always talk about relationships in the NFL. That's probably something that you can point out as a weakness with AP is the fact that he doesn't have, he doesn't have a lot of relationships all around the NFL. But man, if you think about like if we would have got Cliff and that would have happened, if we got a quarterback in the, but that's a whole different conversation. Let's move it along, man. We're here to talk about 2025. And right now, the Raiders don't have a coach, and we got people bringing in super chats left and right. Raiders smoke in the building, my guy. I guess it's a good segue right here. He says, fellas, not in love with the idea of Pete, but he does have a track record of turning programs around. But respectfully, Pete time is taking. Yeah, man. And that's the big question, man. Hey, look, let's keep it real, man.
I already know what it is. I'm gonna have to war. I'm gonna have to war for my OG, man. Let's go, man. I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right. So the rumor is what is rumored right now is that the number one candidate at head coach that the Raiders are considering is Pete Carroll. We all know Pete Carroll from his success with USC, obviously Seattle Seahawks. I mean, 10 years going to the playoffs with them, or at least, they went to the playoffs 10 times his time when he was with the Seahawks, 181 wins, 131 losses, 1 tie. Like, look, he's had success as in his time as head coach. But he's 73 years old, and he's going to be 74 once the season comes along. Speak your piece, Rundown. Speak your piece, because I know you got something to say.
I understand. Look, the age is the factor. That is the number one thing that people can say that why you would not want Pete Carroll. Right. But if you were to tell me right? For all intents and purposes, say he brought, somebody said this in my show earlier with Cheeto, say he brought Josh McCown as his OC. Say he brought a Clint Kubiak as the OC or something like that, right?
Right.
I like that idea thing. I like that better, in my opinion. For me, what I think the Raiders need at this point, because we just talked about it, because an offensive coach ain't coming here. So what I really think we need is somebody that's going to rehabilitate the culture. I've been saying it all offseason, bro. Rehab. We need rehab. Because at this point right now, bro, we need somebody that's going to come in and, number one, teach us even how to win. We don't even know as a team how to win. And we can say we won't, bro. Like, we ain't been in situations where, okay, like, this is for the division. This is for this. Like, bro, we ain't been in none of them situations. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so we don't even know how it feels to even get to the playoffs as a team or have sustained success. I think right now, we need somebody that's going to build us up to get us there. But the caveat with Pete is he has to come with somebody that you can see if he's only going to be here 4 or 5 years, like, all right, bro, I can pass it to this dude. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because where I would be with is be like, say if he got Josh McCown, this is just hypotheticals. Say if he got Josh McCown already done interview for some head coaching positions. You feel what I'm saying? Is what it is. In 4 years, I would say that's enough for him to build a culture. You feel what I'm saying? Like enough for him to at least say this is a sustained team where it can at least get to the playoffs and know how to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I could pass it to Josh McCown in 4 years and be like, all right, well, there we go. At that point, you can be the head coach. You was already respected in the league. People already looking at you like a head coach, and you're an offensive dude, which everybody wants. And then in 4 years, you should have your quarterback at that point. I mean, if the team did it right, you would have a quarterback at that point, and you can pass it along. McCown already been in the building. The voice is there. We move along. So that would be where I am right there.
Okay. My response is just simply going to be this, man. I rest my case. Severe, pass it along to
you. Yo, man. Pete Carroll was born in 1951.
Bro, if it's just the age, I mean, born in just the age, though.
This dude is born in bro. That's a big thing. That's like,
no, okay, let me ask you this, though, Severe. Let me ask you this.
Look. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this real quick. Let me ask you this. If we was going to draft a quarterback, right? And let's say we was drafting a player. It's like, yo, bro, we got to draft. This dude was killing it in college. Killing it. Balling. But this dude is 38 years old. You spend the first round pick on him? Or you gonna spend the first round pick on the 38-year-old? And let me ask you that. If you spend the first round pick on a 38-year-old player, if he was killing everybody in college.
Well, shit, Penix was almost 30, and you was like, we was supposed to get him, so what's the point there?
He said, who? Penix was 24. Penix was still a full 2 years younger than Aiden O'Connell as a rookie.
Right.
Nah, that's how I get Severe. You gotta talk about Penix. But no, you're right. You're right, 100%. 100%. You are 100% right. You would not spend no first round pick. I will say this though, if Pete Carroll came, I guarantee you he could beat 2 out of the 3 coaches in the AFC West in a 40 right now. Guarantee it. So we're talking about the age. I guarantee you he can beat Andy and he can beat Jim in a 40 right now.
He can get Andy. I don't know if he getting Jim. I don't know if
just had hip replacement surgery.
He getting Andy for sure. I don't know if he getting Jim though. Look, none of them might make it to the finish line. None of them might make it. He might get to 38 yards, and Andy will probably stop at like 24, 25. Ain't nobody making it to the 40. You know. So look, we trying to hire John Herbert. You know who John Herbert is?
Dog, hey, that's before my time. It's before my time.
You know who John Herbert is? It's not before your time. John Herbert is the this is low-key code. John Herbert is the old guy from Family Guy.
Oh, you talking about the dude that be messing with kids.
Yeah. John Herbert is the old dude from Family Guy. Yo, bro, when Pete Carroll was a kid, people were still catching polio. That's how old Pete Carroll is. People were still polio was still a thing. Like polio was still around. Like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Like, if the first thing I got to talk about with my new head coach is who's gonna be my next head coach, potentially before he dies, like, I'm good. I'm already gone. I'm already done off you, bro. I'm already done.
Said dies. So we can sit there and watch Greg Popovich really drag himself to the basketball court, but we can't watch Pete Carroll. He spry at 74 going on the sideline.
But in all seriousness, rundown. Look, at the end of the day, like, I understand what you're saying. We're looking at the resume of Pete. We're not questioning Pete Carroll as a head coach and what he's done.
Of course not.
Like, that's unquestioned. Obviously, if all things being equal age-wise, Pete Carroll would be the number one candidate, hands down. It wouldn't be no question, just based off what he's proven outside of the Ben Johnsons of the world, right? But the problem is that, like, what's the long-term plan look like with a Pete Carroll? I know you said, oh, well, you know, we can get a Josh McCown. It's like, for real? Like, the Raiders are so comfortable firing coaches, we're going to just hire someone that we know we're going to fire and be like, hey, you got to leave, man, because you're not remembering where the Raiders building is at. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a situation. That's what it's going to look like. That's the plan. The plan is like, we need to plan your exit. That's literally the interview. Like, okay, if we hire you, we got to plan your exit from the team. That's crazy. And that's where the Raiders are at right now. And the thing is, look, I understand that he's done what he's done. I understand, like, the culture. I get it. He's the safe option. But if you look at all the good teams in the NFL, all the great teams, did they pick a safe option? For the most part, they picked pretty much a guy that was unproven and you mentioned at GM, at head coach, and they made it work. And that's what the Raiders are going to have to do. That's why Tom Brady's in the building. We're trying to get people who've been great in other places. The Raiders always are trying to recreate something that happened in the past and bring it to the Raiders. It's like, come on, bro. Like, let's stop. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, let me put it like this. Monday was Martin Luther King Day, right?
Right.
Pete Carroll was 17 years old, damn near a grown man when Martin Luther King died. He was damn near a grown-ass man when Martin Luther King was shot. Bro, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm good off you, bro. I appreciate it.
Look, and this is my thing. Look, this would be my argument on the other side. Because at the end of the day, like, whoever we hire is whoever we hire. It is what it is. But still, on the Carroll side, I understand the rolling the dice of the offensive people, right? We get that because that's really where the NFL, you say that's where the NFL has went. But then, you know, you say the same argument about the rotating in the Russian roulette of coaches by trying to do that too. It's the same thing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's however we go, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Because if it works out, then hey, we probably just made a smart ass decision. If it don't work out, then we did another dumbass Raider move. It just is what it is. But right. I think as far as, it is the safest option because if you go with a Joe Brady, you go with I don't think Monken's really in that list because Monken's he's like 50 something or like damn near 60. So he kind of older. So that's a little different with Monken. But
he's older.
You go with a Joe Brady, you go with a Liam Cohen, you go somewhere like that, like they're younger. You feel what I'm saying? Like those are younger coaches really trying to stake their claims and shit. So that's more of a roll of the dice. You can say, oh yeah, Pete gonna have to leave in a little bit. He is old as shit. You know what I mean? You gotta go ahead and put that in there. But at the same time, it's still of a roll of dice however you go. If you go with the young person, he don't end up working out. What if he's so bad we gotta fire this motherfucker in a year? And we're like, oh yeah, this is bad. We gotta get this up out of here. Or you know what I mean? Just certain things like that. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point.
Right. And the thing is though, what makes it interesting is that like we're hiring a guy that's 73, and we can all admit that this is a rebuild. This is a rebuild without a quarterback, and we're hiring a 73-year-old coach. Usually, if you're hiring someone that's older, you would want it to be a win now move. Like, oh, Phil Jackson coming to the Lakers. Yeah, he's older, but the Lakers are ready to win now. Or if you mentioned Greg Popovich, he's been with the Spurs. You know, this basketball reference. I don't know, everybody in the chat, just bear with me real quick. But Popovich, he's been with the Spurs for years. So he's already established himself within that franchise. He's already established the culture, whether they're losing or not. He's won chips. But you're bringing in an old coach who doesn't know anything about the building. I'm sure, no disrespect to Pete Carroll and what he's done as a coach, but at the end of the day, like, he's still an older coach coming into the team, and what's the plan? Because this team is rebuilding. What is the plan? Who is he going to come with? All we're doing right now, the people who, like, because I'm going to put you in that box because you're on the box of like we should consider Pete Carroll. All we're doing is like we're guessing and seeing. Okay, you mentioned Josh McCown as a guy that can possibly be a protege, but who else? Like, it's still going to be an unknown that we're going to have to pass it along to. Why don't we just do that now? Like, what are we waiting for? It's a rebuild. Why are we trying to, like...
The whole reason I say not do it now is because we're not being honest in setting that coach. I would say we wouldn't be honest to set that coach up for success. Like, and that's for all parties involved. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you're bringing in a Liam Cohen in here, let's just be honest with ourselves. You passed on the Jaguars job. You got a way better quarterback over there. Regardless of whatever you feel about the GM, how people feel about the GM, right? Like, you got a way better quarterback over there than you do here. You're more set up, and the division. You feel what I'm saying? You're more set up for success way over there. But you come here, let's admit ourselves, we ain't really set that coach up for the best success that we can. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I've said this multiple times on my show. This year, like, whoever comes in here, Pete Carroll, Liam Cohen, whoever, it's a mulligan year, bro, because you ain't got no quarterback. Unless you go ahead and trade up for one, or we get a diamond in the rough later around in the year. Or in the later rounds, you feel what I'm saying? Like Jackson Dart ended up working out or something in the work. Like, this year going to be mulligan, bro. We going to end up, we going to have to take the lumps, you feel what I'm saying? And probably in the next year, we're going to see what we do. But whoever this first coach is, bro, he going to have to take lumps this year. So I'm just like,
right.
I don't know. For me, bro, we wouldn't set that coach up for success for me, unless everybody is willing. And Mark, that's my thing. Unless motherfuckers is willing to say, we're patient, bro. No matter how it go, even if we win 3 games, he's gonna be here next year. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that is what you would have to say. That's and we know Raider fans, bro. We win 3 games. Oh, come on now. Look, even if Ben Johnson would have gotten this mug and won 3 games, he's gone. Everybody like, get him up out of here, bro.
Look, the only thing that will dictate whether or not Pete Carroll is here next year or not is God. That's the only thing. Like, we can't guarantee this come here. That's the only thing. We can't guarantee come here next year, bro. What are we talking about? We talking about a rebuild? This man is 74, bro. The only thing we built on him is his hips. We do not got time for this man to be trying to play.
So if we take out Liam Cohen, who else are we looking at? What are we looking at? Because Todd Monken looked like, hey, we done requested that interview already. That motherfucking voicemail still on his inbox. we done requested that man 2 weeks ago. He still ain't listened to voicemail.
Look, I'd roll with Monken. I would roll with Monken. I would. There are other people out there. I mean, look, I'm not touching Spagnuolo. I'm not touching Vance Joseph.
No.
I'm not touching Robert Saleh either. You know, like other people that out there, it's Monken or Liam Cohen are the 2 guys I identified that have been on the radar. I already said the guy I would target if I was the Raiders. I would target Mike LaFleur. That's the guy I would target personally. People from the Sean McVay tree, those guys win in the league. You see, Matt LaFleur went to the Titans, won as OC, head coach, won as a head coach. Kevin O'Connell has been winning as a head coach. If I'm the Raiders, hey, it ain't nothing wrong with being a copycat if you copy the right cat. People from the Sean McVay tree seem to know what they're doing. Why don't we leech off of that tree a little bit, right? Kyle Shanahan's coaches have been a little bit hit or miss, but hey, if you want a Kyle Shanahan guy, take a look at some people off of his tree. But look, I know early on we were rumored to be like, hey, people was like, what about trading for Mike Tomlin? Like, and Mike Tomlin's been around forever, right? And first of all, he's already shut that down. He has a no trade clause. But like, Mike Tomlin can coach for 20 years and still be younger than Pete Carroll. He can coach for 20 more years and still be younger than, bro. I'm not going with Pete Carroll, man. I'm going with somebody young, somebody that can be here for the long haul. That way he can our Mike Tomlin. He can be our Bill Parcells or not Brett Favre. He could be our Bill Belichick, somebody that can coach for this team for 20 years if he's successful and establishes that culture. I don't want a guy that's going to be, as soon as he gets in here, we're already thinking about, okay, who do we turn to next?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, and that's the problem I had with hiring AP and firing him. Like, why would you hire AP in the long? Why would you hire an inexperienced coach and you're not patient with him? You know what I mean? So you're already looking ahead, thinking like, I'm gonna give it 1 year and then I'm gonna fire him. So then you're gonna hire, and then the next hire is gonna be a 70-something-year-old coach that you're already thinking about when you're gonna fire him. Who's gonna be the next guy to take his spot? Which is crazy.
That's my issue though, Pharaoh, and that's my issue, bro. Like, that's my whole thing. We gonna go ahead and do the same exact thing we could have just done with the coach we just had. Now we gonna go ahead and roll the dice on a goddamn coach. We still don't know what it is, bro. Even if we would have got Ben Johnson, we don't know what that is. We don't. You can say what you want. You can look at all the film you want, but you don't know what type of head coach he will be. Same thing with some of these other OCs that come up in here, whatever the case. But my problem is, bro, now we just gonna roll the dice on another dude and say, oh, it don't matter his record, bro. It don't matter what he does. If he wins 4 games, he should stay. If he does this, he should stay. When literally we should have just kept the dude we had and let him go ahead and work through his mistakes. Like the next coach, if everybody don't want Pete Carroll and they want this young dude, is going to have to do. He's going to have to work through his mistakes. Same shit that AP was doing. So it doesn't make sense to change voice in locker room when you literally are doing the same philosophy, bro. You're doing the same thing. And it don't make... Now, GM, if you wanted to fire Telesco, I'll be honest, bro. If you wanted to fire Telesco and keep AP, I'm going to just say it right now. People going to be mad. I'd have been fine with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd have been fine. Because I never really was a Telesco huge fan. I liked what he did, but there are certain things that he did that I was kind of pissed at. And it was pretty obvious he could have fixed and did not fix. Be real. Like we all looked at that running back room. We said, dog, what are you doing? You feel what I'm saying? We could have spotted that miles away. Quarterback room, spotted that miles away, whatever, multiple other positions. But still, if we're going to do the same exact thing we was just about to do with AP, bro, this all was for nothing. And we pushed ourselves back another year of growth, I would say, if that's what you're going to do. And we just going to go ahead and get another rookie.
I will say this, though. I will say this because the other side. So I know Rundown, you're okay with the Pete Carroll hire. I will say this. If you got Pete Carroll, for however long you're going to have Pete Carroll at head coach, you look at the AFC West, he kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he's beat every coach in that division. I think he's dominated, against Jim Harbaugh. Like, he's all from his days in USC and, obviously Jim with Stanford. Obviously, Pete Carroll with the Seahawks and the Niners. They went back and forth, but at the end of the day, Seahawks, when it counted in the playoffs, Seahawks was winning. Sean Payton, he's won against Sean Payton. He's won against Andy Reid, I'm sure. So we kind of get a coach who can, compete against these other coaches. Because you talk about the big what ifs. And Edgar, hey, shout out to Edgar for the super chat. Appreciate the support, my guy. He says some OCs are just meant to be OC slash DC, not head coach, which is true. Yeah. Which is true. But you got to take the risk, though. You got to take that risk. All the head coaches have been assistants. Someone took a risk and hired him as a head coach. Even the great Andy Reid, at some point in his career, he was an offensive coordinator, and someone elevated him as head coach, and it all worked out. It just hasn't worked out for the Raiders. Hopefully, having the right people in the building to make good football decisions will help. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we got...
Look, we've been talking about Pete Carroll for a while, so let's end this right here. Right? There were 7 head coaching vacancies this cycle. 7, right? If you include the late addition of the Cowboys, it was 7.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
How many other teams interviewed Pete Carroll?
The Bears. That's it.
The Bears.
I think that tells you everything.
Yep. The Bears. Yeah, man, that's true. And also, just to put some perspective on why we're joking around about his age, I mean, the oldest coach in NFL history, if we were to obviously make Pete Carroll the coach, he would be the oldest coach in NFL history. But before that happens, Roman Cornell was the oldest coach in NFL history. And that was back in 2021, where he took over in an interim basis, and he retired right after the season. He retired from the NFL. And look, yeah, go ahead.
No, say, and Pete Carroll, he's top 10 in oldest coaches of all time. He's still top 10, and he ain't even coaching. So if we hire him again, come on, man.
Right.
I get it, bro, but I'm just saying, I put this on Twitter. I get it. I understand. But the only argument is age, bro. Like, that's it. That's the only argument that people, if that's the only argument that people are telling me, I don't think that's a bad fallback option. I really don't. Like, if now, I will say this. I do think if he's hired, this is just, I would hire him, but I think if he's hired, that they probably were trying some other things, and that other thing didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? They probably was like, all right, bro, Pete's here, so we're going to get Pete. So I will say that. That would be it, but I wouldn't be mad at it, though. I would not be mad at it. Because the only gripe we had is age. Like, that is the only gripe, really, we do have. There's something about sometimes, like, who he hires is, his play caller sometimes. He falls flat a little times, of course. I mean, this is what happens, but
hey, you know what?
Age is the only thing, bro.
That's true, because you know what? Another plus, because we got to talk about the pros and cons. We got to keep it real. Overall, Pete Carroll's he's built some good staffs. Like usually his assistant coaches are pretty good. Like, he puts a good staff around him overall. You probably can nitpick a year or two since his time in the NFL, which is, it's going to happen. I mean, there's going to be some guys that didn't make the cut, but that's another thing too. If he puts a great staff around him, it's just a weird situation, and the Raiders just tend to always be connected to them, and it doesn't feel right. But real quick, man, we got L with another super chat. My guy, man, appreciate the super chat. He says, I think the Raiders are shell shocked. If Carroll was such a close second, why isn't there any movement? Waiting on Munkin to geriatrics is crazy. Man, that's
Munkin not even that old. He just look old as hell. He's not even that old.
Bro, that motherfucker is stressed, bro. I don't know what it is, but he's either stressed or something, dog. But he look way older than what he is, bro. I'm telling you.
Right. But you know what, too? Severe made a great point. He said, and I remember seeing this today, like, he literally only interviewed with the Bears. So if you think about it, the competition really isn't out there for Pete Carroll's services. As of right now, we haven't heard any connection to any other team. So that being said, the Raiders they have a little bit of leverage. They can go ahead and take their time and interview the candidate, see what's out there. And if they see what's out there and they see, you know what, it doesn't look too good, let's go with Carroll. I'm cool with that. If they go out there and interview all the good remaining candidates and actually make a good decision and be like, you know what, this is not going to be a good fit. Doesn't make sense to hire this guy. We feel like Pete Carroll's the right guy. We like the plan here. Okay, that's fine. But if they just go ahead and just hire Pete Carroll right now without interviewing Cohen, without interviewing Munkin, without hearing some of even the top DC candidates that's out there, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that.
I get down with that. I agree with that. 100%.
Right. And let's move it along. We got people sending super chat. Raiders Smoke with the super chat. My guy, man. Appreciate the support. He says, you out of pocket for that pick. I had to, man. That shit had me in tears when I seen it. He said Carroll been through the Cold War, moon landing, the rise of television. Damn, yeah, man. It's
Cold War.
Hey, man. Hey, this is technically this is a reaction show for me, man. So I'm gonna. I mean, I was sitting on this since yesterday. I'm like, man, like Pete Carroll really about to come to the Raiders. But that being said, if it works out, I'm not gonna be mad. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Pete Carroll figures out a way to win games for the Raiders and they get to the playoffs, and whoever he has as his protege is the next great head coach as well. But, it's just first reaction is like, damn, man, like we really about to hire literally the oldest coach in NFL history. That's crazy, man. But
so I don't know if y'all talked about it, but is Dion on y'all radar at all? I have people talking about that to me on my show too, so I don't know if he's on y'all radar.
Pass. It's a pass for me.
Yeah, man.
It's a pass for me. Just because I just don't think we're talking about long term. I don't think Dion's going to be here long term. He's never shown that ever. And I think his loyalties lie with his sons, which, like I said, I'm not mad at. But I'm a fan of the team. And I'm like, damn, like, so if your son's trash, are you done? Are you done coaching? Or are you like if you're done, if your son demands a trade, are you done coaching? Like, I don't know. How's that gonna work? Like, yeah, but that's just my take on it, man. Look, Severe, you got someone on?
And then Dion always talks about his sons. So I mean, it's just Shador and Shiloh. Yeah. Imagine you got Shiloh playing cover 3, covering deep middle. Shiloh Sanders, the deep middle of the field. Oh, hell no. Oh,
he not talking about Shiloh, bro. He talking about Bucky, bro. He talking about Bucky. We need new media. You feel me? He talking about that.
Nah, man. I'm cool. Look.
I think I'm with y'all, bro. I'm 100% with y'all, dog.
Perfect for college. I think.
Yeah, I'm 100. That's fine, man. I think he's the perfect college coach, bro. Perfect college coach.
Yeah. No, facts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, eventually he heads over to Florida State whenever that job comes available. I mean, that would make sense. His old alma mater, you know what I mean? I think he's kind of locked in with Colorado right now. But
can you imagine if he would have brought Travis Hunter and Shador over there with Florida State? He should have been had that job.
Maybe Travis wouldn't have the issues that he's having. That's a whole different conversation, man. That's a whole different. Oh man, what happens if Travis really drops, man? Like he really drops all the way to number 6. Are you drafting Travis at 6? Yeah, I would. I might. I mean, because
man, I think you kind of got to, but man.
Yeah. He does solve a need that we actually need, because we do need a receiver and a corner. I ain't gonna lie. So,
hey,
he will solve it.
But
hey, if Pete Carroll becomes a head coach, we're taking corner at number 6.
I'm not mad at that. He does his thing with corners. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every corner I've seen him take, he do his thing, bro. So if he take Will Johnson, I know he saw something. You feel me? I know he saw what he's supposed to see.
I would rather. I don't know why.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen playing like that.
Yeah, but then look where Tariq Woolen was drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was he? What the fuck was he?
Nah, I think he was like
3rd or 4th.
Nah, he was late, wasn't he? He was hella late.
Yeah, it was definitely after the second for sure. After the second, for sure.
Yeah, I said 3rd. I thought it was 3rd or 4th. I thought.
I'm thinking front 7.
Yeah, he wasn't no second round dude.
Yeah. I'd rather add some talent.
You are right though. He will probably take Will John. I mean, didn't he take? He took Witherspoon too, didn't he? That was his draft pick.
His corner is always he's always valued corners. Like, I mean, look at the Legion of Boom. Secondary's been his thing since he's come into the league. I mean, was he a secondary coach? Was he like a secondary coach at some point?
He might have been.
I mean, we gotta blow the dust off some of these encyclopedias and see where. Look at his coaching career back in the night. Now I'm playing. Oh man, I'm just fucking around. All right, man, let's move it along, man. Hey, if it's Pete Carroll, just hopefully the Raiders just take their time and make the best decision. That's pretty much sums up what we're talking about. That being said, man, it's the time, man. It's flag on the play.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Man, so this week we had a few flags on the play. I think the biggest one that obviously happened on Saturday. Let's just get this out the way, man. Anybody watching that Chiefs and Texas game, man, I'm not a Texans fan, but I do hate the Chiefs. And I was like watching the game, rooting for the Texans to win that game. And these refs, man, I don't know. Like the NFL really wants Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs to three-peat. They're literally trying to will the Chiefs to win games. And real quick, let me go ahead and play some of the biggest flags of the play. No pun intended, man. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick, and y'all can see some of the big ones, man. And Severe, if you want to like highlight some of the. Hold on one second.
Yeah, man. I think everybody saw the game. There was something interesting I saw on X when they were talking about the game. We'll pull up a missed penalty, an obvious one, really, that they missed against the Chiefs, that was perpetrated against the Texans. The beginning of the year they talked about this, the hip drop tackle, and right here you see a perfect example of one, clear as day. Clear as day. Like the referee looking dead at him. Not called. Not called at all.
How many times did they call that during the season though? Hip drop.
I don't.
I think they called it. That's what I was telling Severe. That's what I was telling Severe.
They got us
bro.
early.
They did?
Did they?
Yeah.
They got us one.
Of course we got one. I mean, I'm not surprised about that, but I mean,
right.
What about the other 31 other teams? Because we definitely gonna get some bullshit flag that don't make no sense. That's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. We have to look at it. It probably. I don't remember it being called often. I remember we got one.
Nah,
and I don't remember it being called that often. But that one was obvious.
Yeah, that one was obvious, and this one got me mad. I'm not gonna lie. Like I could feel for the Texans fans that's they're watching this playoff game, and this was Patrick Mahomes scrambling. He literally is. He's running. He's running, and then they get flagged for late hit. You know what I mean? Which is crazy because, and that's something that they're probably gonna have to evaluate during the offseason and try to figure out how they're gonna call that and da. But for the time being, man, they're gonna look out for Patrick Mahomes here.
Man, it's bro, all of us in here done play sports, or been around sports. Like,
right.
Especially if you play the game, bro. How do you stop your body from doing these things, bro? You can't. You just literally cannot stop your body when you're already in mid-flight trying to hit somebody, bro. Like, it's just not gonna happen. There's no way for me to spin my momentum completely out the way. And if I feel like this man is still running, because he always likes to straddle the line, bro. He did it on the sideline in another play, bro. He tried to act like he wasn't going out of bounds and keep going, like, bro. He always do that.
Right. And oh man, there was another one we're leaving out here. To me, you could probably argue that was one of the biggest flags. This one's on Patrick Mahomes. He knows he gets calls.
Yeah.
He tried to flop. You remember that hit? He tried to slow down, going out of bounds. Clearly trying to slow down, and obviously, the player gonna hit him if you're gonna slow down and not go out of bounds. He's gonna hit you. But he tried to, make it where it was a 50-50 call and like flop. You could tell like he threw himself in the air and try to get a call. Obviously, the refs didn't call that. Surprisingly, they didn't call that. But yeah, man, it's not just the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes too. Flag on the Chiefs. Flag on the league, the refs, and Patrick Mahomes. So definitely flag on the play.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
Even the announcers was on them. Like when I saw it, I think it was on Will Anderson. And it was that phantom helmet to helmet hit. I think that was on the third down too. I want to say that they was gonna get him off the field on the third down. They called that BS helmet to helmet hit. I already knew what time it was. I was like, "Look, bro, I should just start betting on the Chiefs because obviously that's who the referee's betting on. So I'm gonna put my money. I'll put my money where their money at."
Right.
Hey, look, and then I see some people in there talking about we hating, but look here, bro. Certain things he just cannot do. Like you saying, he over there flopping. You could have told me Denzel put on the 15 and the acting job that motherfucker was doing on that flop, bro. Like, come on now. Like, you cannot do that as a team, bro. It's gonna get to a point. Certain teams, and I think Buffalo should do this, should say, I don't care what he does on the sidelines. Hit his ass. Hit his ass. And I would do that. as a coach. I'll take the flag. If it's 15, let's take it. I don't care, bro. But we're not gonna keep doing this flopping like he be doing because he's really trying to straddle the fence. He knows it at this point. Like you said, he knows.
Exactly. Real quick, man, let's address this super chat real quick, man. Appreciate the support. My guy, Old School, he says, damn, I wish you guys could interview AP. Yeah, that would be a game-changing interview, man, for sure. And I wouldn't even ask any questions. I'd be like, hey, AP, just say what's on your mind, man. What happened? Just what happened last week? Just say whatever. AP, he's gonna say what's on his mind. He's not gonna no filter. There's gonna be no filter. He's gonna tell you what he thinks.
I wouldn't even want to do AP like that because AP, I'm sure he still wants a future in the NFL. So if he lit the Raiders up, nobody ever hire him again. Nobody hires us.
Bro, we did him dirty, bro. We did him mad dirty, bro. So I can't, I wouldn't fault him for feeling the type of way. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. But he's gonna play the long game. Obviously, I'm sure he's gonna have some more opportunities. So he's not gonna want to burn his bridges and have a tell-all interview and then talk about a franchise because other teams gonna be like, oh damn, like that's what he's doing with that team. Imagine he comes to our team, so he's not gonna. He's gonna think ahead. He's gonna think ahead, and that's smart by him. But real quick, this is a flag. Technically, this is not a flag, but it's a funny story. But we'll say it's a flag on Randy Moss for thinking what he thought. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip. It's from a podcast. I think it's what's the name of the podcast here?
I think it's Edelman's podcast, right?
Edelman's podcast. I'm trying to think of the name. But he had a former teammate on there, and he was talking about he telling him about a Randy Moss story. I thought it was funny, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip real quick. Y'all let me know, man. Who's the flag on, man? Is it gonna be the former offensive lineman for the Patriots, or is this on Randy Moss? Let's see here.
Randy Moss gave me this nickname, and it happened immediately. I have no idea why, because we barely spoke to each other.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, what's up, coach? He called me coach. So Randy would call me coach. Everywhere, we'd be waiting in line. He's like, oh, yeah, coach. I know you're going to get on this pot roast because you look like pot roast, coach. Yeah, you big fat I bet you, you're going to have 2 pieces of pot roast? You know what? Have 3. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm in, man. Like, he gave me a nickname. Like, I'm telling people from back home, like, Randy Moss gave me a nickname. He really likes me.
That's what I'm telling you. It was so cool that he had a nickname. He was so funny. He had a nickname.
Yeah, like immediately. I was like, this is the best. Bill Belichick has all the rookies get in front of the room and say their name. And so I get up there. And I can't remember if it was in the meeting or immediately after, but Randy Moss pulls me aside. He goes, you a player? He goes, you been a player this whole time?
I think it was in front of the whole team.
You gray-haired I thought you was a coach. He was like, you a player? Oh, hell no, Bill. Did we waste a draft pick on this mother? Are you kidding me? Was he going to go out there and break a hip? God damn, Bill. And I'm just like, oh, my God, that was not a nickname. He thought it was a coach.
He thought he was a coach.
How unbelievably embarrassing. I mean, I told everybody. I was like, yeah, Randy really likes me. It's
That's hilarious, man. Funny story, man. That was just a funny story, man. It wasn't a huge. We could have gave a flag to the usual suspects, Devontae Adams. You know what I mean? Like he's always on a flag on a play. But obviously that was a funny story. But yeah, definitely flag on a play on Randy Moss for thinking.
That's funny, bro.
That was just a funny story, man. I just had to play it real quick, man. But hey, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate everybody coming through. Man, hey, the chat is going crazy, man. I'm trying to catch up, man. I'm gonna try to see what I can do to get in the chat real quick. Man, y'all dying. Man, I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna send this message over to Rundown. He says Rundown knows what I want.
You want Pete Carroll?
I'm just gonna have to.
First of all,
you want Pete Carroll. I know that's my dog Jeff. You want Pete Carroll?
Okay, all right, I got you.
There's a crazy out of context. That is a crazy statement, yo.
Out of context is fine.
That is a crazy statement. See, that's the kind of.
That's why I had to say that shit back quick. That's why I said this shit back quick.
Yeah, I know, and I know Jeff is a gentleman that's a little bit older. That's the kind of stuff you got, bro, with these older cats. They be saying some awkward.
We had to get turf right. It took a minute to even get turf right. They don't be knowing, bro. They don't be knowing. Oh shit!
You know?
So Greg says, to be honest, I'm starting to think Dylan Gabriel and Jackson Dart might not be bad options with the Raiders. What y'all think about this? First reactions, Severe.
I mean, I've been talking about Jackson Dart for months, bro. Like now, everybody want to come to the Jackson Dart train and say, "Oh, Jackson Dart." But I've been saying Jackson Dart was, one of my guys for months, for a long time, right? So I mean, I would have no problem with that. I ain't taking them in the first round, But if we go best player available first round, and we feel comfortable, or whoever our coach is, they feel comfortable taking them in the second, I wouldn't be opposed to taking them in the second round.
Okay. I mean, what are your thoughts on this right now?
That's where I was at. Because some people was trying to make it seem like this man was a first round pick, and I'm like, yeah, let's not go that far. Like, I like him, you feel what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna go as far as say he's a first round pick. Now, I will say it took me a minute to get on the train, and I will say Severe was the first person I heard talking about Jackson Dart. He was the first person I heard talking about it. It took me a minute to even get on the train, because I was asking, like, is it Lane Kiffin? Like, what is it? Like, I don't really know what it is. So took me a minute, but I would say, yeah, second round, I'd go him before I went Dylan Gabriel. And I was on Dylan Gabriel at first, but doing more research, all that background, yeah, it's Jackson Dart before Gabriel.
Okay, Frank White says draft McMillan in the first and Keyshawn Judkins in the second. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeesh.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. I wouldn't be mad at that. Who gonna like that? But that means we're trusting Aiden O'Connell. Exactly.
Yeah, like, throw the ball.
Look.
Hey, but is McMillan like explosive though? He's not that fast, is he?
He like Mike Evans. He like Mike Evans. People say he like Drake London and shit too. So it's like
Drake.
Yeah.
So he's like one of those 50s. He's a 50-50 guy. 50-50 guy.
Yeah, he like 6'4", 6'5". People, but look, he's rumored to run like a 4'4", 4'3".
But you know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm talking about.
He's like a long strider though.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
He's like
I try and ignore my nature, but I can't. Hey, Ron Davis. Hey, my Instagram is the Raider Rundown too. I won't block you. Come over here. Talk about my nose ring over there. Let's do that over there.
I blocked him on my channel already.
Yeah, go hit me over there real quick. We can talk about it over there.
It's all good, man. Hey, if people getting disrespectful, man, hey, keep it respectful. Hey, look,
I'm sure about none of that. We can do the whole internet. That's what that. This internet ain't never serious. But with McMillan though, I wouldn't put him in this situation, dog. You want to throw Aiden O'Connell? You want to have Aiden O'Connell throw him the ball? Exactly. I ain't gonna.
And when you want to add some speed to the room, to be honest with you, just looking at our receivers in the room, like we really don't.
Yeah,
he's fast.
Yes.
Is he explosive fast though?
Like,
is he explosive?
40? What's his 40?
Ball threat. People say he's gonna run a 4.4. He's rumored to run a 4.4.
4.4
at 6'4", 6'5".
No, but when you're watching him play, he looks explosive.
He's a long strider. So he's like
long stride.
That's like AJ Green. Like, would you say AJ Green was explosive?
Yeah.
But AJ Green,
I agree with that.
All he did was run past people. Same with Mike Evans.
Yeah, he one of those.
All he do is he run right past you. It don't look like he's moving that fast until you see somebody next to him and he's leaving him.
He got good feet for a big dude, I will say. Like, I won't say he's the most like explosive dude, but for his size, he's athletic enough. He's athletic for what he needs to do. And the 50, and then to me, we do need a 50-50 guy too. I mean, well, you say a 70-30 guy, because I don't think we really got that as far as a receiver in the room. So I think we got to add that too. Yeah, like Brock is that, but like we need that on the outside.
Right. And Austin says Mahomes really trying to make the NFL, NBA with all these flop. Yeah, man, that was crazy. When I seen that, he knows. He knows. The Chiefs know the league is out here. They're gonna get the calls. So it is what it is, man. Hopefully they'll be able to. Bills can finally win a playoff game against the Chiefs. hopefully they can take care of business, man. I thought the Ravens were going to be coming out of AFC, man.
I'm still mad about that, bro. I'm still.
Man, bro,
I think about it at least once every day since this happened. I ain't gonna lie.
Is he ever going to be the same after that drop? You think he's ever going to be the same? I mean, likely he's basically Mark Andrews. I'm just saying he's a good player. But it's just like, bruh, that was like
that could break you, bruh. That could break you. I ain't gonna lie. That could break you.
Look,
I hope he gets back because he is a good tight end, bro. Like, he one of the most reliable tight ends in the league. So it's like, I do hope he gets back, but that shit right there, that's tough, bro. That's tough.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It likely is
Isaiah Isaiah likely finna watch his targets go way the hell up next year. I tell you that much. Isaiah likely targets finna go way the hell up. Especially if Todd Monken, if Todd Monken's still there. Oh, Lamar could be looking dead at Mark Andrews. I'm like, nah, bro. Here he triple covers Isaiah likely.
That's where it get bad, bro. That's where it get bad. I mean, I feel for Lamar, bro. I feel for Lamar. I wanted him to do it.
Yeah. He literally almost did. I mean, do you think he could have ran it in? You think there was a chance he could get that corner? It would have been tough though. But he gave him a layup.
It was in the snow. That's tough.
He gave him
a bro. In the snow, that's tough. I don't know if y'all saw Chris Sims and other people talk about like the throw was late. Like you saw him talk about the throw was late and all that. Like,
no, bro.
Dog,
I don't want to hear nothing about no late throw, none of that, dog. Like, he should have caught that 100%, bro. Stop that.
Yeah.
Assassin says we need a 50-50 guy. We don't got that with Myers. Myers low-key a 50-50 guy. You know what I mean? He's not a number one option.
Nah.
Yeah.
But he can win.
Nah.
50-50.
Not like McMillan is.
Yeah, exactly.
I had somebody throw this out at me,
like
and I don't know how y'all would feel, but what about DK?
He like 6'3" though. Myers is 6'3".
Yeah, what about DK? Y'all mess with DK? If y'all get him on cheap?
What the contract gonna be?
I'm talking like third round cheap. I'm talking about like third round cheap.
Did he get ready? He ready to get paid? You ready to get paid?
Oh no, he ain't got no more guaranteed money. So you'd have to give him some. Probably have to give him some.
Oh my god!
I mean, but he's 27 already, so he ain't gonna get no T. Higgins money. He ain't getting that.
Man. If old boy can get like,
and he be hurt all the time too. That's the thing about DK. He stay getting hurt.
That's true.
Like, he always got something going. He always like, bro. For as big as you are, you hurt all the time. Like, come on, my dude. Like, what's the?
If he wasn't hurt, I feel like his profile of receiver is perfect for the people we got in the room. Like, you feel me? I feel like he compliments like everybody we got.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But damn, you right though. He do be hurt. That's my thing with Chris Godwin too. Like, I like Chris Godwin. He be hurt all the goddamn time too. So it's like, can't really give him all that big bread. I mean, T. Higgins hurt all the time too. And people want T. Higgins.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like T. Higgins always on the injury list. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't even think T. Higgins is gonna come to the Raiders for the most obvious reason.
No, hell no.
You know what I mean? If his agent's gonna tell him, it's like, nah, don't do it, bro. You want to make money in the future?
You just gotta pray he don't go to the Chargers. That's it.
Exactly.
You don't go to the Chargers.
You want this to be your last big contract of your career, bro?
Yeah, for real. Let's be real. Come on, let's not lie. We're not gonna lie over here. Like shit. Like it is what it is. Like not having a quarterback, it influences free agency. It influences. We're seeing it firsthand with coaches. Yeah. So, but we'll see how it shakes out. Real quick, man. Hey, make sure if you haven't already, make sure to click and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We are going live on both our channels, and obviously, Raider Rundown in the building, man. We got special guests. Make sure to head over to this channel and subscribe. My mods put his links in the chat. Man, hey, definitely want to subscribe to my guy's channel, doing big things. And real quick, man, let's move it along. Let's go to notable quotables. This is where we, we pick out some quotes that happen around the league that we felt like, you know what, this is a good conversation that we should have. And I'm gonna go ahead. If Severe, if you want to go ahead and give the intro for the first one real quick.
Yeah, and Amy Trask was talking to Rich Eisen, and ironically, Amy Trask was talking about, how Ben Johnson passed on the Raiders, and she was talking about how somebody sent her a text, Caleb Williams or Aiden O'Connell, and she said, He said she blocked him after him after he sent the text. But then Rich Eisen goes into why Ben Johnson pretty much passed on the Raiders.
Right.
When you are a candidate for a head coach and you have the leverage to choose, and one of the things you need to think about is who's there at quarterback, and who's drafting high enough to get a quarterback if that's the job that you're taking, or which owner is going to be less mercurial, which front office staff is the most secure, which city would my family want to live in. I mean, there's so many different ways to go about it. And again, the Raiders clearly have pluses. The minus is the fact is who's the quarterback and how would that potentially be used against me if it doesn't work out. And clearly it didn't work out for Antonio Pierce for various reasons. And the fact is that they didn't have a quarterback. And then the year before that, they bounced their head coach in the middle of the campaign because for various reasons, he didn't want to have Derek Carr anymore, which pissed off Devontae Adams. And then he got hired because the previous guy, was no longer tenable to be in that position. And you're starting to churn through coaches. When you
he pointed the obvious, what we've known, but sometimes people need reminders. Like, hey, look, the Raiders are going through a rebuild, and they've gone through coaches, and the reason why some of these coaches did not succeed is what? Because they didn't have a guy at the most important position on the football field. I mean, Rundown, what do you got to say to that?
That's obvious. You know what I mean? I mean, you pointed whatever rookie, mistakes that could have been made with Antonio Pierce or whatever the case. But I guarantee you, if we have a quarterback that's, that you're looking at, probably he looks a little better. Or at the case, if you have a quarterback right now, the job looks better. That's just the name of the game, bro. Quarterback is what it is. I mean, you need a quarterback to compete. Especially, I mean, we say it all the time, bro. Like, if we was in the NFC, we'd be skating. We'd be skating by. You feel what I'm saying? We might even make playoffs a couple times. You feel what I'm saying? Might win a game or two. But in the AFC, it don't fly like that. We can't do that. When you get to the AFC, you have to go through multiple quarterbacks to even get to the championship game. You feel what I'm saying? Even dudes that we might even think are mid. But in the NFC, they be way better quarterbacks. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you definitely need a quarterback to compete in this conference, bro. In the AFC. If you don't have one, then you don't go far in the AFC.
It's crazy because, I was looking at like Jalen Hurts and what he's done in the playoffs so far. This dude is like averaging like a little above 100 yards passing, and Saquon is having a historic season, playoffs. He's dominating. But it's not just that with the Eagles. Just look at their squad. They have everything.
Yep.
So if you don't have a quarterback, and not to say that Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback, it's just look at what he's doing. He doesn't have to do much. So if you just put an average quarterback there, they probably wouldn't be winning games. And what I'm saying is, like, what you have to do in order to win, if you don't have a quarterback, you literally have to be like the most talented team in the NFL, which the Eagles arguably are. Like, look at that D-line, look at that secondary, look at the receivers, look at the running back, look at the offensive line. It's crazy. But go ahead, Severe.
Yeah.
Man, it's, this is a quarterback-driven league. You see, just like at Jaden Daniels, you see what they were picking number 2 overall last year. Or this past draft, right? Number 2 overall. People expected them to finish last in their division, be one of the worst teams in the league. And the fact that they identified their quarterback, they are now in the NFC Championship game. And it's not like he's had a whole bunch of help from all these, like everybody around him. They had a pretty poor defense. a lackluster run game. It's basically been Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, and a cask of such and suches. Some Bobby Slurvers burgers. That's all they have in the bench. It don't got no so.
They don't have nobody.
If that is the great equalizer. And that's one way to build, or you can go the Eagles route, which is where you have one of the best offensive lines in the league. You have a number one wide receiver in A.J. Brown. You have a guy that could potentially be a number one wide receiver on another team in Devontae Smith. You have, some pretty good tight end play. You have probably the best running back in the league. Then you have a great defense, led by some of the best defensive linemen in the league, including one that we had an opportunity to draft, and we passed on them for some. I ain't even going to call him what I was going to call him, but we passed on him for somebody else, right? We had an opportunity to draft this guy. We saw this guy in the clutch. He made plays. And we see the guy we drafted. What does he do? He doesn't do that, right? So there's two ways to skin the cat, but it's the path of least resistance is to find your quarterback. That is the easiest path not the easiest path. That's the quickest path to instant success. You saw it happen with Bengals and Burrow. We saw it happen with the Texans and CJ Stroud. We're watching it happen right now with Jaden Daniels. And we're going to see potentially what's going to happen next year when the Atlanta Falcons turn over the reins to Michael Penix and let him have the full off as the guy. We'll see what that team does. So, until you find a quarterback, almost nothing else matters.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And real quick, case in point. Like Severe saying, got to find a quarterback. But we looking at the conferences again. You hone it in again, bro. It's just simple and plain. If we were in the NFC, like both of y'all are saying, you can get away with having good team ball. You feel what I'm saying? Look at the 49ers and look at the Eagles, bro. They would trade their quarterbacks for some AFC quarterbacks in a heartbeat. I guarantee you they would. They would do that. And even look at the Lions, bro. The only AFC team that the Lions played that was worth a damn, they lost, and that was the Bills. They would trade Jared Goff in a heartbeat. The Rams did, and look what the Rams did with Matt Stafford. So it's like with us, bro, we gotta go ahead and find something. We have to. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, bro, because our whole division has quarterbacks for at least 5 to 8 years, at least.
Right. And James saying, man, appreciate the super chat. He says, won't get a QB this year, so let's build this O-line. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Look, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this as a rebuild. So take the best player available. If we can't get that, take the best BPA. I'm Tom Telesco special. I'm okay with that. Just because the way everything is, if we can get hopefully. What makes me hesitate a little bit, probably the riskiest thing when it happened was I know you Rundown, you mentioned earlier that you weren't really, you weren't mad at Telesco getting fired, but there is a risk with firing him because he did have a solid draft. He did, in the first couple of rounds, first 2 to 3 rounds, he's going to hit it out the park. That's what he's shown. At least the first couple rounds, consistently he'll give you some good picks. But now you're gonna go to another GM, which if you're looking at the Raiders' history, we got PTSD when it comes to draft picks. So our standards are pretty low. So that's why we look at Telesco. We're like, man, he did a great job. But in reality, he did this. Any other team was like, oh, he did solid. He did a solid job. Obviously, he got Brock Bowers, and he did a solid job. But Telesco does come with some of the flaws that you pointed out as far as maybe his aggressiveness and, maybe later round picks haven't panned out in his 10, 11 years. You know what I mean? As a GM, there's
Wouldn't you think the GM job, you have to be able to get some late round picks right too? It's you can't just keep getting all these early round picks. It's well, shit.
Right.
Me, you, Severe can hop on Madden right now and do it. If Brock Bowers fell to 13, we take Brock Bowers right now. Right. And Jackson Powers Johnson, we take him immediately. Right. But it's we need some depth. Now I give him credit for DJ Glaze though. I give him mad credit for that one because I didn't expect that. I don't think. Right. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't expect him to be as good as he was.
That. We were laughing. We were laughing.
I laughed.
So I give him credit for that. He gets mad credit for that.
Delmar Glaze? Like what? Delmar? You drafted somebody named Delmar, bro? You was already. I was already cooking him off top. Hey, but hey. He bought. He
did. He did. You got to give him credit
for that one. I ain't see that one coming, but I'm still mad about the DCAM pick. I ain't gonna cap. I'm still pissed. People telling me give him time. We could have got a running back with that pick. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no giving him time. He got cooked by Quentin fucking Johnston. Johnston at 186 yards receiving. Get the fuck out of here.
The very next week, what happened with Quentin Johnston? He had no catches. And the ball was picked off twice when thrown in his direction.
Direction. Come on, bro. Stop.
I'll say this. I'll say this too before we go to the next notable quotable too. At the very least, can the Raiders just fortify their front office and run down? You mentioned this earlier. Let's get this GM. If we can get this GM right. You know what I mean? The reason why the Eagles are the Eagles is because of one guy, and that's Howie Roseman. I'm sure you got everybody in that building working together, but I'm just saying Howie Roseman is leading the way, and they, as far as adding talent to that team, if we could add someone in the building that could be a really good talent evaluator, obviously Tom Brady will be in there overseeing things. Hopefully he's not trying to make first-round picks and second-round picks and third-round picks. Hopefully, it's not a situation like let's not hope that. Hopefully, he hires someone that he trusts. That's a great talent evaluator, and that can build talent on this roster. Because one of the biggest issues with the Raiders is that even though we have these coaches going left and right, which is not going to equal to wins long term, but when the new coach comes in, where's the talent? Where's it? There's. You know what I mean? We got Max, and then we got this guy on his contract. It's like, who's the quarterback? It's like we don't have a really talented roster because we've missed on so many draft picks. But if the GM in the building can really build a talented roster, hey, if the coach doesn't work out, then this job becomes more attractive, and then we're not going to be having issues where, Ben Johnson is passing up our job, like the Ben Johnson types or any other coach that we want. Like, because right now we don't really have. Like, come on, man. Look at this. Let's be honest. Like, if you had to rank the Raiders roster, where do you rank it compared to in the NFL? I mean, obviously they're picking it bottom 10, and they're picking in the top 10. You know what I mean?
Bottom 10.
And that's man, and we could admit that. It's crazy. We could admit that, and we still firing coaches, which is crazy. But I'm not gonna let that go. But it is what it is. But let's move it along to the next notable quotable. And Severe, if you want to give the intro to this clip.
Yeah, so this is a person that Raider Nation hates. But this guy is generally on point when it comes to the news. He is one of the people that said Ben Johnson was going to be going to the Raiders, and he was right on the money. But he is saying that he has been hearing rumblings of somebody else coming to the Raiders, and I think it will make our guy Jeff and our guy Rundown very happy.
But I was told yesterday, don't overlook Pete Carroll. And when you look at the other guys that they've spoken to so far, of all of them, I'm hiring Pete Carroll. And I don't care that he's 73. As I pointed out earlier today, he's still a decade younger than Wayne Newton. So Las Vegas is the perfect town for him.
Look at it. But he said it like cracking a joke too as well. Man,
crack open the blue chew for my dog, man. Let him go over here, man. You know, all he needs is them Rhino pills from the gas station, and we good to go, baby. 5 in the morning, we up. Let's do it.
How old is Mike Florio?
Yeah, but you know what? Look, all I'm saying is that I feel like let's interview a few more candidates. Just
for sure.
Come on. We have a little bit of leverage because, like you said, Severe, and I seen this earlier. Look, he's only interviewed with one team. One team. So there's no one that they're competing for his services. It's not like a situation where Ben Johnson, who he interviewed with, obviously the Jaguars, the Raiders, and obviously the Bears, and he probably could have interviewed for more, but he passed. He let people through his agent probably let them know that he's not going to come to interview. Pete Carroll, I don't think anybody's knocking on his door because, hey, great coach. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame one day, but
so would you have felt that? I mean, take the Patriots to the side. I mean, we can't really, but would you have felt that way with Belichick as well? Because I mean, nobody was really.
I would have hated Belichick on so many levels, bro. I would have hated Belichick on so many levels. The fact that he's 70-something years old, plus you're trying to bring back something that clearly didn't work, which is the Patriot way.
Yeah. You can't really take the Patriots way out. So that's something you definitely don't want to do.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it works in where's he coaching? North Carolina. You know what I mean? That's going to be interesting. That's actually a crazy combination. Bill Belichick coaching college football players. Man, that's a.
So
I don't know how that's
okay. I'll say let's make it clear because everybody in the chat after this, you know how people is after they watch the shows, they're gonna get their own narrative. Let's make it clear. All right. I think all of us here agree. We would love Liam Cohen. We would love to interview Todd Monken. Right. All right. And those would be cool. For me personally, I say if we don't get those dudes, I'm fine with Pete Carroll. That's me. Right. But I would interview those dudes first, and I would see how that goes. See if I can get them. But if I don't get them, I'm fine with Pete Carroll personally. That's me. But what about y'all?
Look, like we gonna get who we get. Look, it's Pete Carroll, and like I don't dislike Pete Carroll. He's a nice guy. I've actually met Pete Carroll before in person. Super nice guy. Like how he looks on TV, like super energetic, all that stuff. Like it's just how he is in person. But I would say this, right? Pete Carroll was with the Seattle Seahawks, right? He basically brought them back to relevance. Built one of the greatest defenses of all time in the Legion of Boom. Took them to consecutive Super Bowls and won one of them. And even when he got too old, they shuttered his ass off to a home. It's like, yo, look, you kick your ass over here and sit in this corner as a consultant. They got him up out of there, and they hired somebody younger. And now he's even older now than he was then, and we're going to hire him. Like, I would just be sorely disappointed, man. I would be sorely disappointed. And I know people in Raider Nation they love it. They would love it, but it's like this is not quite bed and breakfast, but it's like, bro, I smell some waffles. I smell some waffles and some bacon.
Nah, bed and breakfast was way worse. Like, come on, bro. Like that was like you can't compare to that. But I see your point. My thing is, look, I'll give. Man, it's hard for me to even say this. Give the Raiders benefit of the doubt. I mean, they haven't earned it. To be honest with you guys, like they haven't earned it because they've been a losing franchise for a long time. But I will say this. And I said this earlier. I said, hey, if they go out and interview some more candidates, obviously they got Jed Hughes helping with the search. I mean, I ain't mad at it, but it's still like not an exciting option. But he's won some games. There's a certain level of consistency. And if you think about it, it sounds like the Raiders are gonna go for experience. That's what they're looking for. And you know what I mean? I don't feel like they're gonna go and be aggressive. And I think their aggressive move was Ben Johnson.
Yeah. They're
not gonna go for a Monken, a Cohen. Like they're not gonna do it. You know, as much as we are all talking about like, are they gonna be interested? I don't think the Raiders are interested because even though Tom Brady has a say in this search, I think Mark Davis is still part of the decision making too. And he doesn't want the Cohens. He doesn't want the Monkins. He doesn't want to do that. He wants what does Mark Davis want? He wants the big names.
He wants safe, bro. He wants safe. Yeah.
Exactly. So McCarthy kind of like fits it. You know what I mean? He's won a Super Bowl.
Some people happy about it. I mean, some people talking about he be the best coach since Gruden 1.0. So I don't know about all that, but
it's true though. It's true though. It's true because
I mean I get it, but he's had quarterbacks.
Look at the Raiders coaches though. Look at the Raiders coaches. But he's won though.
Yeah, it's been.
Look at the Raiders coaches, bro.
We've hired terrible.
Our
coaches
standards are low. The Raiders standards are so low, bro. Like, so for you to ask a Raider fan, is McCarthy? Yeah, I'll take McCarthy. I'm not gonna take
what he's done with them Cowboys. But it's just like, damn, we ain't got no Aaron Rodgers. We ain't even got no Dak Prescott.
That's like saying Derek Carr is the second best Raiders quarterback, or his best Raiders quarterback since Gannon. Like,
yeah, that's just me.
Of course,
that's just me when people say that. I get it. Like, I love Derek. When we do the whole, like, you know, always a Raider shit, and he come to alumni shit, he gonna be welcomed with open arms. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. The fact he's our second leading quarterback, bro,
exactly. He's the best quarterback since Gannon. But just look at who we've had.
But that speaks to how bad the Raiders have been. That just speaks to how bad. That's all that's saying. The Raiders have been a bad football team for a long time. So now you're gonna see stats like that where, you know, like, they're meaningless. There's no meaning. There's no substance. You're number 2, but it ain't come with no wins. It just is nothing. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Bro, I can just see the montage after Pete Carroll gets hired. And he's calling up all his old buddies. All you hear is, the boys are back in town. The boys are back in... And he's calling up all his old friends. And they, like, I can see it now. I can see it now, bro. Like, it's not.
Man, FBA says, I think Spytech can evaluate talent. Our roster could use influx of talent. Okay. Hey, I'm not mad at it. I don't think it's a bad option. Brandon Brown, assistant GM, he interviewed on Monday, as well as I think Alexander. Alexander. Which, when I looked into him, he's a Ozzie Newsome disciple. He comes from that building. That's his background. I kind of like that. I like that. I mean, does it mean that he's going to be a great GM? No. But the pedigree is there. You know what I mean? Like, he's been able to learn from some great guys.
Can I be honest with y'all, bro? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'll be honest. I didn't really say too much when it happened. When we interviewed that Newmark and I looked him up, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I'm right there with you, bro.
This is who Ben wanted? Like, really? Like, over Spytech? Over... Even the dude from Green Bay, really?
You know what that was. You know what that was. It was Josh McDaniels and Ziegler.
Yeah, homies looking out for homies, which is why I'm kind of like, I didn't like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not. If we would have hired him, I would not have been excited about that shit.
But it wasn't just homies looking for homies. It was indirectly. I'm going to have all the power at head coach. Because think about it, Ziegler was there because of McDaniels. So if McDaniels wanted a guy, then McDaniels is going to get that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the reports were true and Ziegler wanted CJ Stroud, who did McDaniels want? He wanted old boy from that went to Carolina who, you know, had a little resurgence this year. Bryce. But the Raiders could have technically traded up and they didn't do it. I bet you McDaniels wanted CJ Stroud, they would have got CJ Stroud.
100%.
Now, fast forward, it was going to be that type of situation, which I would have looked at as like, I don't know. I don't like the head coaches with supreme power and just give me a GM that knows how to pick players and let the coaches coach. That's all I want, bro.
We done with the whole power trip. I saw a severe tweet. And, you know, hey, he was in Detroit for 20-something years. Now, our math ain't all that good. But Detroit only been good for like 2-something years. You feel what I'm saying? So what happened to the other 20-something years that you was there? What was you evaluating then? I don't know about that, bro. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Exactly. Look, Brandon Brown, he's a guy, he spent some time with the Colts organization, impressed everybody there. Spent some time in the Eagles organization, worked his way up, got all the way up to director of player personnel under Howie Roseman, who was one of my favorite GMs in the league. And this past few years, but he was with the Giants as assistant GM. But we've kind of seen, thanks to Hard Knocks, we've seen his takes. And if the Giants had listened to what he was saying, they'd probably be in a better position than they are now. So he's a guy, and he's young too. He's like 37, 38 years old. I think that type of energy in the building, I think that would be good. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at Chad Alexander either. Like, I think those are both the young guys. Newmark, I'm cool on. I'm cool on Newmark. Like, bro, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But Chad Alexander or Brandon Brown or Spytek, I'll be good with any of those guys.
They interviewed a couple of other people last week too.
What said about the McVay tree, I feel like that way about the Ozzie Newsome tree with GMs. Like, if you under Ozzie, yeah.
For sure. And I think they interviewed a couple of other people last week as well. I think someone from the Packers building, which
he's nice. He's nice too. Not a bad option.
The Packers, they know what they're doing when it comes to drafting and developing players. That's their bread and butter. Because ain't no one going to Green 100%. Bay. You know what I mean? They have to develop. They're like the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL. I mean, I don't know what the Spurs are doing nowadays. I mean, they've been losing a lot, but But back in their heyday, you know what I mean, when they were consistently winning, that's a good comparison. But that being said, let's move it along, man, to what's real, what's not. This is where I say a statement. Y'all react to it and let me know if it's real or it's not. And the first statement on here real quick. Severe, you got it in front of you real quick? I don't know if you could.
Yeah, I got it. Let me see where we at with it. So despite the buzz surrounding the head coaching hire, the Raiders will hire a GM first. So once again, is this real or not? Despite the buzz surrounding the head coaching hire, the Raiders will hire a GM first.
Ooh. Yeah, with Ben Johnson basically going to the Bears, it makes it kind of interesting now. I would say not real. I think it's going to be a tandem. I think they're going to announce them at the same time. But I could see it. I can see a GM getting hired first. I can see that happening. But I think them being announced at the same time is still a big possibility. So I'm gonna say it's not real. Let us know in the chat, man, if it's real or not. And Rundown, what you think?
I'm gonna go with real. I'm gonna go with real. And the reason is kind of what we were just talking about right now and saying, like, I don't think that there's a coach left on the market that's going to want his own GM or going to require his own GM or even has that type of pull, right? So I don't know if there's a coach on the market that I would even trust to tell me, like, hey, who you want, where you want to come from. So I think right now it's in a situation where these two dudes are going to be hired separately. Obviously, I mean, if we can get some working relationship, whatever, cool. But it's going to be whatever has the best chemistry. They may not know each other, they may do, but I think the GM probably got to be first to be able to get the roster together for the coach that's going to be in here. So I say real.
Okay. All right. Let us know in the chat real quick. I'm trying to catch up. Raider family says not real. We could have already made, let's see. Todd Monkey said in the presser that he hates how coaches in playoffs are interviewing with other teams. So what if Raiders are waiting for specific people? It's a possibility. Yeah. Smoke says real. Okay. Yeah. I mean, hey, look. Tomato. Right. Justin Brown says real. Okay. I think it's gonna happen at the same time because their whole thing has been like, we want to bring in a GM that's in sync and has a good relationship with the coach. What did Mark say when he hired McDaniels and Ziegler? Synergy. I want to coach and yeah. They want some deal like that, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna say
real because even if you think about the Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler tandem, right? Like most people feel that the Raiders had already decided on Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler was just along for the ride. But and that was the case. Josh McDaniels was not going to accept a job unless Dave Ziegler was a GM. But Dave Ziegler was actually hired the day before Josh McDaniels. He was hired January 30th. Josh McDaniels didn't get announced to January 31st.
Oh, my bad, Raider Booster. I didn't even see it. My bad. I got you. Appreciate the super chat, my guy, man. He says, let's see here. He says, Severe just hating on old guys. I mean, I guess I'm hating too. You can add me in there too. He's just hating on old guys.
Hey, I'm cool with old guys, man. I play dominoes with old people. I shoot pool with old people. I play chess with old dudes. I be chopping with the old dudes in the barbershop.
Yeah.
But that's where it ends. Y'all, I'm not trusting y'all to run my business.
I'm not trusting y'all to run my business.
That's funny, man. That's funny. But yeah, man, it's nothing against anybody that's older or anything like that. It's just look, I trust Pete Carroll today. I don't trust him 3 years from now, 4 years from now. You can't bet on that. How can you bet on that? Like something's gonna like how I don't like look. The fact that when he interviews, his interview is like, okay, so my replacement is gonna be like that's the first thing he's out his mouth. So my replacement.
Exactly.
Come on, man. How are y'all not like just shaking your head at this? Like, come on, man. It's tough time right now for the Raiders, but we'll see, man. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Hope Pete Carroll or whoever is a head coach is the next great head coach. I'm just being honest. I see you on the chat, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Severe, if you want to give the next what's real, what's not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the next one is the future head coach of the Raiders is somebody they have yet to interview. One more time. Is this real or not? The future head coach of the Raiders is somebody they have yet to interview. We all know the people they've interviewed already. Ben Johnson, of course, Pete Carroll, Vance Joseph, Steve Spagnuolo, Robert Saleh, I believe Aaron Glenn as well. I believe that's everybody. So the Raiders will hire somebody they have yet to interview.
You know what I was really thinking about is someone, and I'm glad someone in the chat like brought it up. Is Mike McCarthy connected to the Raiders at any point? Like, and why haven't they announced that, Pete Carroll's the guy? They might bring him in the building. It's a possibility. Right now, like anything could happen. But then I'm just going to go with my first instinct when I first heard the news that Pete Carroll was connected to Raiders. And I'm going to say it's not real. I think Pete Carroll is going to be the guy. So, but I'm just throwing it out there. There is a possibility because Mike McCarthy does fit, he checks the box experience. He's won some games, Super Bowl, been in playoffs. Like he's done that, been there, done that. But I'm gonna say Pete Carroll's the guy, and they interviewed him I think last week last Thursday or sometime last week. But I'll say that it's not real. Rundown, what you think?
For the sake of my Pete Carroll argument, I'd have to say not real.
Right.
Just for the sake of because I want Pete Carroll, but I do think though with that they are still going to interview some more people, though. I do think that's going to happen. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Mike McCarthy. It's kind of interesting that they haven't even requested Liam Cohen, and Spytek was in the building already, so that's interesting. Monken, we didn't talk about this at great length, so it's like, who else could they add, right? They already had a person I like Aaron Glenn, but it looks like Aaron Glenn they're not even wasting their time with that because it looks like they're not even in the running. So, yeah. Are we going to wait until this week, maybe the Super Bowl, to see if we want to do something with Cliff Kingsbury? Are we going to wait to see this week, the Super Bowl, if we want to wait to do something with Joe Brady or some of these guys, right? It's like, now we're waiting a long time to get these people here, and they still got to get their staff assembled. So it's like, you would like to do this the quicker, the better, honestly. And you don't want to rush, but that is a factor, bro, because you got to get your staff in here. We got to start with the draft, free agency, we got to get right. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
I don't know. We do got to put a move on though. But I will say not real.
Okay, Severe, what you think?
For the sake of the future of the Raiders franchise. I'm hoping that it's real. I'm praying that it is real. I mean, look, Liam Cohen, Joe Brady, Brian Flores, Mike LaFleur, any of these people. I'm cool with any of these people. I can't trust Pete Carroll to run up a flight of stairs, let alone run my football team, bro. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it, man. I love the guy to be around the organization. If we want to bring him on as an advisor, he want to be in that Marvin Lewis role where he, old man wearing sun hats, collecting the check during practice. Like, hey, bro, you could do that, but you're not gonna be the main. Like, be a head coach of an NFL team. That's like a 16, 17-hour day job. Like, how you gonna do that when you gotta make the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity special at dinner? Like, you trying to go to brunch on Sunday. It's like you interrupting his brunch time, right? He's like, I can't trust somebody that eats their scrambled eggs soft. Like, he wants soft scrambled egg. Like, bro, no, I can't do it, man. I cannot do it, man. Like, I love Pete Carroll. What he's done in the league, we appreciate it. But the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and he has a finite amount of time to be the Raiders head coach. And then we're starting this cycle all over again. I'd rather just try to get it right now, and hire somebody that's on the upward swing.
Man, so a lot of people, it's a little mixed bag. A lot of people saying real. Some people saying it's not real. It could go either way, man. But right now, it's gonna be interesting. Do you think that we'll hear some news this week? Real quick, this is not our what's real, but I mean, do y'all think we'll hear some news?
I think, what's today, Tuesday? So I think, because honestly, bro, they got to get the ball rolling. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just got left at the altar. Yeah. So you got, you know what time it is, bro. We hit the strip club that night. Let's get it in. We got to go ahead and drown our sorrows, man. We got to get it in. So I think as of right now, bro, we got to go ahead and talk to as many people as we can, get as many plans as we can, and compare and contrast. I think the GM is showing up. I ain't gonna lie. I really do. I really think they already know who they kind of want to do with the GM. But the head coach, though, yeah, they're gonna have to. I feel like if whatever they're gonna do, they got to move quick. Because even if you want Cohen, bro, like at this point, you're gonna have to snatch him from Jacksonville. Like that's what's gonna have to happen right now. Because he's probably got one foot in there already. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't know how we gonna do that and how we gonna convince him if he likes Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't know how we gonna do that. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, 808. He said, damn, I thought Tom Coughlin was the oldest coach. He was 66 when he won the Super Bowl. Romeo Crennel was the oldest coach at 73. Yep. And I was trying to find something positive. Yeah, like, I really try to look. I'm like, you know what? Like man, Pete Carroll's resume is just too good for me to, like, just not acknowledge it. And then I start looking at, like, every coach in their 70s coaching the NFL, they literally retired. They get immediately retired. Like, they didn't last a couple of road games.
As soon as they turn 69, they retire. Like, which is odd. Look, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but it's odd. As soon as they turn 69, they retire. Look, but look, if we hear age, I mean, if we hear something this week, that means it's Pete Carroll. So if we hear something about this week, it means it's going to be Pete Carroll. If they say something about it, if they make a hire this week, it's likely Pete Carroll. Or it's like somebody I can see them doing some weird stuff. Remember, like, when we were doing the GM thing, we we're like, oh man, it's Ed Dodds, or it's I forgot who was the other guy. Who was the other guy? It was Ed Dar, Champ Kelly, or and then it was like time to, like, watch these dudes do something like hire Steve Spagnuolo or Vance Joseph or something like that. I can see them.
Hey, that'll piss me off, bro. That'll piss me off. I ain't gonna lie.
But you know what's weird though? If we hire Spytech, that's gonna be weird that we didn't interview Cohen. Like, he would know, like, who he has in that building, who's on that coaching staff. Like, he would at least set that interview up, right? You would think, like, at least, like, tell Tom, like, hey, like, we should consider. And then you know what's going to be weird too is that like the GM is not going to have any say in who the head coach is. Yeah. It's going to be Tom Brady who has to say. So it's
as of right now, I don't know if we should trust that though. You feel me?
That's why I say it's going to happen at the same time, because they don't want it to be a situation where it just, or you know what, like you said, it might be a GM, and then the GM,
because we know already, like out of all the head, like as far as the GM candidates, like Spytek is a dude that he knows. You feel me? Like he trusts. So it's like that's already boom. You feel what I'm saying? I know you. That's cool. We're good. We got that relationship. Then at that point, you might be able to get Spytek and him together, and they start brain trusting and saying, all right, now who do we want? What do we want to do? All right, how we trying to make this move? So I think now you probably see more of a GM Brady relationship making this shit move, and the head coach is just, hey, bro, we gonna supply you with the groceries. You cook,
right?
You feel what I'm saying? Big meal. That's basically what it's gonna be at that point.
Right, Mark. I think we talked about this earlier. Hope it's Kingsbury next week. To be honest with you, I don't even see how the Raiders would consider Kingsbury after what he did last year. Yeah. Like, yeah, didn't that rub people the wrong way in the building? Like this dude just last minute was like, yeah, remember that contract I was about to sign? Yeah, I can't do it, man. I can't. Why would you even trust to give a guy any type of money after he just literally kind of ruined the Raiders season, to be honest with you? Because Getsy was not a good OC at all. So
I'm gonna say this: if this goes past this week, I'm gonna start getting real worried that we're hiring Steve Spagnuolo. If it goes past this weekend, I'm thinking I'm gonna start thinking it's Spagnuolo.
You know what I didn't like? You know what I didn't like? I don't know who it was that mentioned it there. Like Brady has a lot of respect. I think it was Albert Breer. He said Brady has a lot of respect for Spags. Like he has a lot of respect for him. And I was like, and this goes back to him losing in the Super Bowl against the Giants, because Spagnuolo was twice, and he was the DC. So, you know, this happens. Though.
If Brady saw this, bro, we're going to use the Mike Tomlin. We do not care. We do not care that you done lost in the Super Bowl to this man and you gained some respect. No. Now, I apologize for my people like Space Beast. They've been watching me all day. I might have been talking about Pete Carroll all day. But let's just keep it a bean. All right? We're going to talk about retreads and all that. You rather hire Steve fucking Spagnuolo than Pete Carroll? Come on, dog. Come on now. Look, I get the age is a thing, bro, but the last time I saw your boy Spags as a head coach, it was not good. That shit wouldn't even hold a candle to what Pete Carroll, last time I saw Pete Carroll. So it's like, come on now.
But look. Maybe this is a chess move. Make a your division opponent team weaker. Because one of the best things about the Chiefs is their defense. So you literally take away one of the biggest strengths on that team. You take away one of the best coaches in the NFL or defensive coordinators in the NFL. You add them to the Raiders, and you admitted next year is gonna be a what? It's done. It's like we're not.
It's year. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Year. You gonna chalk it up. I mean, yeah. To a degree, it's like you do weaken it. I don't know. Am I crazy for thinking that we shouldn't adopt the like chase Chiefs or bust philosophy? Like, am I crazy for thinking that? Because I don't really think like we should be like our thought process every time we make a decision should go automatically to like, oh, it's the Chiefs. Oh, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. Like, I get it. Like, we need to do things to specifically tailor to that. But at the same time, we need to be a good, well-rounded team, right? To be able to go through the teams we through. Because it's not just like, even when we get to the playoffs, we don't just play the Chiefs in the playoffs. You play multiple other squads. You feel me? Like, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just the Chiefs. First of all, they're on a division, plus they're winning the Super Bowl. So we have to find a way. We got to build the team to beat. You know what I mean? We got to find a way to beat a team like that.
I don't know if Spags is the guy, though. Spags would be the head coach to do it. Like, specifically bring him over here and do all. I mean, if you want to talk about, the chess move between him and Andy would be nice. You know what I mean? Like, the little chess game they would play would be nice. But offense, we got the same question, bro. Offense. What's he going to do?
Right. Yeah. Right. Steve got a super chat real quick. He says, I'm still laughing at rundown, know who I want. We are all dysfunctional. I think that was from earlier. And he got another super chat, my guy, man. Appreciate the support, man. He says, I just read in 2023, Todd Monken was the top OC candidate for the Bucks OC after Leftwich. He ended up choosing the Ravens. Watch it be Spytek and Todd. Ooh, I like that. Hey, Steve, bro. Hey, man. We're going to have you call in one of these days, man. That was a nice little connection right there.
Yeah,
man,
sure, I like that.
He connected the dots right there. I like
a
that.
mug.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be mad at that combination.
Hell no.
At all.
Not saying that it would work. I'm not guaranteeing this would work. You know what I mean? Because we have no proof that obviously Todd he's never been a head coach. But I like
best of both worlds though.
I like his connection to the types of quarterbacks that he's worked with, from the Lamars. You mentioned Stetson Bennett. You know what I mean? And then obviously you said Baker Mayfield, and then then you look at Brock Bowers too, our best offensive weapon. He knows how to use him. He's going to develop an offense, and I'm sure he's probably going to find. Like I want us to find a way to use the tight ends on our roster. There got to be an OC that has to figure out a way to use not just Brock Bowers, but obviously Michael Mayer too.
Michael Mayer.
Yeah,
well, we just saw Monken be able to do it right now with the sets he used with Mark Andrews and Likely. So we know he knows how to do the tight end sets. Obviously, and it's like his run games are nice. So I think he'd be a real good option. I was trying to look at how old the man was. Let me see how old he was.
I think he's 59.
He's 58, so it ain't that bad.
58. Oh yeah, he's it.
He ain't that bad. You got some time.
Yeah.
Right.
You got some time. You go ahead. He needs at least 3 to 4 years to get this shit right. To get the offense into his vision though. You probably gonna need that.
Yeah, man. Cool. Kev, you said trade Mayer as soon as possible. Oh man.
Unless we get some good in return, I'm cool off that.
Yeah, I kind of like Mayer, man. He's on a rookie deal, and I feel like it makes the Raiders a little bit different. The fact that they got 2 weapons at tight end, and it all it takes is a creative offensive coordinator. That's all it takes. We just didn't have that last year, so that's just what it was. And then obviously Michael Mayer did have his I don't know what was going on during the season. He was dealing with some stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't trade. Yeah, don't trade. Yeah, I wouldn't trade Mayer. I wouldn't do that. I mean, as long as he's locked in. If he's locked in, he wants to be a Raider. Hey man, don't trade Mayer. We need him. We need the talent for sure.
All the help we get.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Rundown, my guy, man. Appreciate you coming through. If y'all haven't subscribed to his channel, y'all better head over there. My mods, if y'all still in the building, make sure to put the links in the chat. Rundown, man. Hey, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
Hey, man, you already see it right here, man, at the Raider Rundown. If you want to find me on YouTube, I got my social media links on my YouTube. So if you want to go ahead and tap on those, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. More active on Twitter. So if you want to holler at me, talk football, talk Raider ball, let's go ahead and do that. Obviously, tap in with my guys, Severe, Pharaoh, man. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Always watching y'all late night, man, to end my nights off, man, end my days off. So I appreciate y'all having me on.
Sir, man.
And we definitely got to do something for the draft. You know what I mean? I've been waiting to do draft content for when we hire the coach and GM and shit, because I don't know what direction we going, know what scheme we running. But when we do figure that out, I already told Severe, you feel me? We're going to do some draft content. We got to go ahead and link it up, man. We got to go ahead and see what we can do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Severe, man. Let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, man, y'all know what it is. At the Severe Raider on YouTube, the Severe Raider on IG, on X, on TikTok, on Snapchat. Basically, any social media, you search up the Severe Raider, I'm probably on there. Catch me every Tuesday afternoon. My guy, 805 and Chris from Protect the Shield, doing some stuff. Also Tuesday night, you know what it is, the 50-50 show. We're coming at you guys live and direct just about every week, for like a year now. So, keeping it locked in. We still got some around the Shield stuff popping off as well. And then, make sure on your way out, y'all subscribe, y'all hit the like button on all 3 channels. And stop by the 50/50 shop, man. Get you guys some merch for yourself, for your ladies. We got the little tennis balls that go on the bottom of the walkers for Pete Carroll when he's the coach. 50/50 tennis balls. But, we're thinking ahead. We
might be banned if Pete Carroll's the head coach. We might be banned from the stadium, man. I think he's gonna put in.
Oh, Rip, they gonna see this. Hey, real quick, that you just got me thinking about merch, man. You go on my channel, man. I ain't got no merch, but I got the link to my registry, man. I got Baby Rundown on the way, so I got some Raider gear on the registry, man. Y'all want to tap in with your boys? Y'all know what time it is, man. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, yeah. Make sure to head over. You said the links are on your page, social media page, or
okay, yeah, it'll be on there.
There you go, man. Hey, yeah, man. Like Severe said too, as well, man. Y'all, we'll be here next week. 50/50 show every Tuesday. Later this week, we'll have Around the Show with Big Mike, and hopefully, hey, we might have a special guest too as well. So be on the lookout for that. Every Friday is when we drop the episode. We might possibly go live. But the only way you can find out is by hitting that notification bell, so you'll be notified when we go live. And then also make sure to follow us on Around the Shield on Twitter, on IG, where we drop latest Raider news, rumors, all that stuff, memes, podcast clips, all that good stuff. And I think I'm on my way out right now. I think all right, this is where I gotta. It's that time, man. I gotta head out, man. I thought I could make it, but it is what it is, man. Hey, man. Hey, any last thoughts before we head out?
Hey, man, much love, nation. Keep patience, man. We gonna find out what we gotta do soon, bro. We all in it together at this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
all
silver
right,
and black, not silver and silver.
Facts. Hey.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.